Okay, everything should be up and running now. I hope. Hopefully we don't run into any technical difficulties today. Oh my goodness, floating away today. You're already... Thank you so much, cutie. I see the hearts that you sent in. Here, I'm going to send you in some hearts myself. Thank you so much, cutie. How's everybody doing this morning? Can you not hear the music? Where is the music? Am I losing it? I think I'm losing it. I can't hear the music. Tell me it's working, please. I don't want any more microphone issues. Oh, no. Oh, God. I already have enough on my plate. I hope this is working. Yapping into the void. Well said. Well, I guess everybody's missed the greetings that I've been giving them this whole time. Did I just go through it again? Because I even, like, thanked... I even thanked floating away today already, and I was like, oh, thank you so much for the hearts, cutie. Let me send in some hearts myself. Oh, goodness. All right, I'm going to go through the roll call one more time. Good morning, Gombik. Good morning, Just Ones and Zeros. Good morning, Raven. Good morning, Peter. Good morning, Baytran. Let's see, who else came in? I see, good morning, Bouge. Good morning, Nikki. Who else popped in? Good morning, Viola. Good morning, Craig. All right, I think I got everybody this time. I had to go back. You didn't even warn me. Thomas, welcome to the stream. All right, cool. So I've set up some new technology. It's really not that new, but I've set up some new stuff. So that we can kind of just chit chat and we can still like do something. I haven't been feeling the best recently. Today is no exception to that. But I didn't want to just like put off another stream again. So I figured we'd just do something like simple. I was going to do this anyways, right? So might as well just share the experience with all of you. We can talk for a little bit, and then I can go back to resting or doing something else. Yeah. Happy Pride to you, too. It's good to see you, Laika. Rain, am I doing okay? I'm not feeling the best. If you want me to just, like... you rarely hear me say stuff like that, but it's like... Yeah, I'm not feeling great these days. I'm willing to admit that there is something wrong. If you're asking me what is wrong, I don't know, but something's going on. Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that, Raven. Well, at least you were able to get in for the prosthetic repair. To answer your question, why is the USA so expensive? I can't speak to prosthetics, but I could speak to, like, the wheelchair. And I went to go look, like, other prices for, like, wheelchair wheels the other day. And, like... one brand new wheel for my wheelchair can be like upwards to like $300 to $350 to $400 for one wheel. That's not two. So a set is times two of that. And it's just our medical system is designed to set up to try to build the insurance. But if the insurance doesn't justify that you actually need that equipment, well, then you're stuck paying for it on your own. But the prices go up because usually, more often than not, it's the insurance company that's paying for all of that stuff and not the consumer. So the producers of these things don't have an incentive to keep the price low because they don't have to be competitive, because very likely the insurance company is going to be the one footing the bill for it, and they have the cash. It really is a scam. I think that sums it up really well, Gombeck. And, American healthcare is a scam. It's part of the reason why I don't go to the doctor as frequently as I probably should. If Miss Rain is at her limit for the day, we would prefer she rest. Miss Rain's health is #1 priority. Please don't push yourself too hard. I promise I won't do that. We're keeping it together. I promise. I'm very tough. I assure you. I've survived some pretty ridiculous shit. That's just not me even talking. Like, I think we all know. I can get through a lot, but I'm willing to admit, not feeling the strongest these days. But if we come over here, we can activate our handy dandy new camera technology that was donated very generously by Catwoman. Now you can see my hands. This is great. I finally had time to set this up and get it like tuned and whatnot. But yeah, now you can see my desk. So this is what I do behind the scenes. Woo! See my mouse pad and my mouse and all of these lovely nail polish paints that I have set up for you. So we're going to be doing blue, pink, white, and a clear coat. For anybody who missed it, I put up a poll yesterday on the channel, and I just asked a simple question. What would you prefer? Red and blue alternating, or blue, pink, white? And y'all picked blue, pink, white. So that's what we're going to end up doing today. Well, it's not just for a nail cam too. The other idea behind this was to be able to, like, because I don't just do digital art, right? And like focus, thank you. Because I don't just do digital art, the other reason for the camera, and I just haven't had time to do this recently until now, but the other reason is so that when I do drawings, y'all can watch me draw in my notepad, which, I do both, right? But now you can all watch me do drawings if I want to draw on paper instead, right? So you can all see that instead of just watching like the screen. And this isn't the best viewing experience, but that's pretty much the only way I can do it if you all want to watch me draw. It's like with physical media. So I think I'll change my profile picture against to make Rain confused. Oh goodness, this will be a good day for it. I promise you that. Yesterday I was fully sick and I didn't tell Anna while we were chatting for a bit, but I think it was food poisoning from a sushi restaurant. I only go to like really good quality. I've learned not to like eat out really anymore. I don't trust it. I have a lot of like dietary restrictions anyway, so it's just usually better for me to cook at home because I have control and I know specifically what I put in there. So if I'm cooking with dairy, I can, get my lactose intolerance regimen set up ahead of time. Where more often than not, you go out and you ask the chef, you're like, hey, is there any dairy in this? And they're like, yeah, no, we didn't put any dairy in it, and they cooked it with butter, right? And it's like, so more often than not, I prefer to cook at home, not just for, but I've gotten the food poisoning bug a few times eating out, and it's just better to do it at home. You nailed it. Well, we're going to try. I'm also going to try to do my best to stay on top of chat today. So let me widen this window out so I can read chat a little bit better. I only really need my screen to kind of preview things. So what we are going to do here, the strategy for my nails is we are going to do, I think one hand each would be good. So for the first hand, we're going to do blue, pink, white. And then for the other hand, we're going to switch it and we're going to do pink, blue, white. And that way, both my hands are inclusive to, you know, the two variants of the trans flag. So we've got, you know, trans girl pride and trans guy pride going on all in one package. I draw on shitty papers. I really need to get more friction to make stuff better. I started with like cheap printer paper. You know that stuff you can buy in bulk? That's like bottom of the barrel printer paper. That's what I started on. And like a cheap mechanical pencil that I stole from work. Alright, I guess we might as well get started. Hopefully y'all can see well enough. I can't bring the camera too much closer, unfortunately. I could try, but it's gonna start getting in the way of, like, my desk. So, hopefully this is good enough. I say we start with, let's see. How do we want this? We want to do blue, white, pink, or pink, white, blue. For the left hand. We'll do blue, pink, white for the left hand, and then we'll switch it up for the other hand. I always consider my left side to be the softer side of me anyways. I can never draw on paper because it became a complete mess. Oh god, you should see me draw regularly. Everything's a complete mess. I jokingly call my rough drafts chaos lines for a reason. Because it's just absolute chaos. Okay. I'm gonna try to do this in a way where you could see, but no guarantees here. Also, all of these are gonna need 2 coats. But that was the first. Miss Rain's hands are smaller and better cared for than mine. We are so jealous. I used to have really messed up hands because I used to work in a warehouse. I've spent a really long time trying to fix them, but I do have like scars all over my wrists and stuff from like all the work I did previously that I haven't been able to, you know. I'm trying to do this so that you can see it. There we go. At least something. At least you can see something. Now, I'm not claiming to be an expert at but I have done this enough where I've learned not to, like, overdo it and, like, glob the paint on. I'm playing Nurgle in Total Warhammer 3. They are the Plague Sickness and Rot Best Demon faction. I cannot Google... I have just started painting my nails. I can't Google anything, Patreon. I'm one-handed now. I'm not even going to move my hands that much in order to open the bottle. That's how little I trust myself. We're going to do the pink coat next. But yeah, this is where we're at. So here's the 2 we've done so far. Also, a lot of people ask me about this with the ring. And, you know, I've been getting more questions recently now that I've, like, been taking pictures of myself, doing videos and stuff like that. And a lot of people are like, wow, Rain, you've got a ring on your left hand. Are you married? And the answer is no, I am not. But if you want the yes answer, yes, I am married to myself. There you go. So pick one of those 2. Paint. Wait. Nurgle colors green and bruise plus brown. Oh, come on. What kind of suggestions are those? I'll tell you what. If you're willing to paint your fingernails bright, I'm talking bright neon pink, and unironically wear that out in front of your family and your coworkers and your friends and peers, I will paint them green and like bruised plus brown for you. I think that's a fair trade. You gotta send me a picture though. Pics or it didn't happen. Okay. The pink goes on like super, super light when you do the first coat of this. And I even got the... I might switch the pink. I have another bottle of pink I bought. I don't know how pink this is going to be. In the past, I've... Well, I messed up my nail polish the last time I used these colors, so it might have been user error, but we'll see how this turns out. Rain is married to the cloud. That's a good one. That's a good one floating away today. I'm going to steal that. Rain is hiding in your cloud. If Miku is hiding in your Wi-Fi, I'm hiding in your rain clouds. Or in your storm clouds. Okay, alright, so this is how far we've got. Like I said, you can't really tell that I've applied the pink yet, because my nails kind of have a little bit of a pink hue to them anyways, so... hopefully the white kind of stands out a little bit better. I've never painted my nails. You never had a goth phase or anything? I mean, I did in high school. And then that again now in my life, except I've switched from like... Alright, here's the thing. I never dressed goth, but I hung out with the goths a lot in school. Clouds are natural pride flags. Ooh, I like the thought of that. I mean, they do come in all sorts of various pride-related colors. And... they host rainbows. I like your thinking. Okay. Here we go. And if for anybody who's wondering, yes, I do have proper ventilation on right now. I don't know if you can hear the fan in the background, but I've got a fan specifically set up to force air in and out of my rooms because the fumes that come off of these things are ridiculous. You forget I'm a brute, mega masculine cis male. Obviously, God, you sound like me 10 years ago. I'm the manliest man ever. I'm so manly, I drink my coffee black every morning. I'm so manly, I drink my whiskey neat and warm. And I got big, long, scary beard and big muscles. Grr, don't you believe I'm a man? All my video game characters are hyper-masculine, super over-muscled, tatted up. I mean, come on now. There are like, from my observations, there's like two types of like origin stories. And I know I'm overgeneralizing, but I'm just trying to be silly here. But there seems to be like two types of origin stories. It's the trans women that have always known that they are girls, and then you have like someone like me who was like, I don't understand my emotions, I'm just going to be as man as I possibly can. Oh, so you do follow me? I've never had a Twitter account in my life. Okay, that's not true. I've had a Twitter account, but I never used it. The cool kid, I've been painting my nails coral calm light pink. And I'm male right now. Aw, I like that. I support that. You know, the first time I ever heard of, somebody painting their nails was when I went over to China. And I saw a guy and he had his nails painted with French tips. And I was like, why did you do that? And he's like, I don't know. It just makes my hands look nicer. I was like, interesting. We don't really see that too much, like, or I at least had never seen that too much back home. I don't know, it kind of opened my perspective to it for a little bit. Damn, welcome to the stream. Hi, Rain, how are you? I'm a little under the weather. Ha ha ha. Sorry, that was a pun. I haven't been feeling the best since, like, I don't know, let's call it like a week and a half ago, almost 2 weeks now. Kind of seem to be like spiraling down. I don't really know what's wrong with me. I can talk a little bit about my symptoms if anybody wants to hear like what I'm dealing with, but I'm not like, obviously not looking for like medical advice or anything. I might schedule a doctor's appointment if I don't turn a corner soon. Just because I like really haven't been feeling good at all. But I don't think it's like super serious or anything. I'm neither variant. I just found out late because I'm stupid. All right. At least you didn't spend literally. Oh goodness, sorry. I have to clear my throat. Apparently, at least you didn't literally spend half your life in like hardcore denial, and then like not only that, but then every opportunity you've had to like embrace any type of feminine like side of yourself, you just went like hard right and just was like, nah, I'm gonna join the military. Nah, I'm gonna work in a warehouse overnights, like for like 13 hours straight. Yeah, I'm gonna work in the dirt, in the mud, and yeah, like like I said, at least you didn't go that track, because that's kind of bad. Okay, I'll tell you how bad it was. I never liked smoking cigars, but when I was in the military, I used to smoke cigars just because I wanted to fit in. I'm with Credo. I mean, hey, there's always room in the middle. You know, nothing is ever like, everything's a spectrum. That's what I've been learning. Nothing is ever 1 or a 0. No offense to just 1s and 0s, except for just 1s and 0s. Just 1s and 0s is just 1s and 0s. But for everybody else in the world, it's more like a spectrum. A warehouse, does it become a house when the... Yeah, because I worked every night. It becomes a living nightmare. It's a house regularly, but it becomes a warehouse with a full moon and rain approaches. Alright, I think this is probably maybe dry enough for me to start doing the second... Oh my god, I forgot I didn't put the tops back on. So I guess if y'all want to kind of hear like what's been going on with me for like the past couple of weeks, I mentioned some of this like on and off, but I started with getting like really severe shoulder and neck pain in like the right side of my neck. So like this arm in particular, like I've had like a lot of pain. I have like a shooting pain that's been going down my shoulder. Obviously, wheelchair user. I use my arms a lot to move around. Literally can't move around without using my arms, right? So it's like that really sucks for me because, yeah, I kind of need my shoulders to work to be able to like function my wheelchair properly. Oops, sorry. Kind of need my arms for that, right? So it started with that, and then I started getting like really lethargic. Started sleeping more, and at first I was like, "Oh, this is great." Finally not having insomnia, maybe something's getting better, right? So I start sleeping more and more and more, except now it's not like normal sleep, it's sleep, but I still wake up completely, absolutely, like, exhausted. Here's the second coat on both of them. It's starting to, like, really pick up in color now. I like this. But, like, absolutely exhausted. And not just exhausted, but I'm sleeping through my alarms. I'm sleeping through people, like, sending me messages. I'm sleeping. This is not a normal thing for me. For anybody who's been part of the community for, I don't know, maybe more than a couple of months, I think y'all are hyper aware that I'm usually up anywhere between, like, 2:30 in the morning and, like, 6 a.m. And I very rarely will break that like wake up period, right? Probably it'd be a little healthier if I woke up closer to 4 a.m., right? But Rain is definitely a morning girl, okay? I very much value waking up early. I enjoy the time that I have before I do my live stream, and I enjoy what I do afterwards, and that's like basically how I've set up my day. But now it's like I can't even get out of bed, and when I do wake up in the morning, I'm exhausted. Like I didn't even sleep the entire night, and it wouldn't matter if I slept 6 hours or 8 hours, even 10 hours. Like the other night, I'm pretty sure I slept 12 hours in a row and felt like absolutely nothing. Like I didn't get any rest from it. And then there's this stupid cough that I keep having. I don't know what is up with that, but I've just had this like cough for a while now. Time to nail it. We're getting there. I'm gonna do the pink one next. And then, like I said, when we're all said and done, I'll bring it up close to the camera every once in a while so you can see, like, where we're at. But I haven't applied the coat, the second coat of the pink. But this is what I mean, though. The pink and the white look too similar. And I know I don't have the best lighting in the entire world right now. But the pink and the white look too close in color. So I might go grab a darker pink in a minute. Hi, Rain. I'm currently making the cover of The Riddle by Nick Kershaw. With me and the Boy Sana vocal synth Chris A, pronounced Chris Say. Oops, you gotta be careful with me. I'm like Ron Burgundy. I'll just read like I always read the teleprompter. That's really awesome. I've done a lot of like Vocaloid fan art, both like direct like covers of like or parts of like songs and stuff like that. A lot of my like portfolios like that. I've spent quite a bit of time learning how to draw my own character, to the point where like that's pretty much all I practice anymore. I've been given some shit about it recently that was annoying, but whatever. I try to ignore the haters. Okay, alright. I'm trying to do this so you could see me do it at the same time. Alright, second coat. Let's go. Stronger pink color this time? I'm not feeling it. It doesn't look that way. We'll see. I agree, lots of water. Okay, I kinda flashed over a little on the sides. I never worry about that stuff because it usually falls off within like a day anyways. I found that if you try to clean it up now while it's wet, you're just gonna ruin your nail. So what I usually do is I wait for it to dry, and then maybe like after like a day or two, like it'll just naturally fall off my skin, which is probably the laziest way you could do it. But yeah, I don't see a color difference. I might grab the darker pink just for funsies. Will Miss Rain do in October this year? I'm not sure what that is, actually. If you want to tell me what it is, I'll let you know if I'm willing to do it. How about that? Is that fair? Yes, please drink water. It has been up and down with the heat in my region. I don't know if you live in the Northeast like I do. Northeast USA. If you do, it has been kind of ridiculous with the weather. It'll be really hot one day. It'll get cold. It'll stay hot and like super humid for a few days. Then the weather will drop again. And that's not been great for me either. And I honestly thought last week, I was like, oh, maybe I just got heat exhaustion. Maybe that's why I don't feel good. But like the last thing that has been like really bothering me recently is I usually eat and cook a decent amount of food. I haven't really been eating. I've pretty much forced myself to eat breakfast this morning. But if I didn't do that, I wouldn't eat anything. And I only ate a little bit yesterday. So I had some lunch with Anna because we cooked together. But that was pretty much all I ate except for some crackers before bed. Because my stomach was just so upset. Inktober. Oh, draw a picture with ink every day. You know what? I think I'll be ready. I think I'll be ready. You know why? Because I have some really good ink. Oh crap, my I'm using like for the webcam, like currently all of my like pencil cases and stuff are what's holding the webcam up, so I can't actually show you without like knocking everything over. You have to take my word for it. I have some really cool new pens that I want to. Also, before I forget, I did want to mention, I saw a lot of people sent in like Ko-Fi donations and stuff recently. Gombic, I believe it was Floating Away Today also sent me in some Ko-Fi donations. I wasn't around to thank anybody for those. So since you're both here, I do want to say thank you. I really appreciate that. I really do feel bad I haven't been myself recently. And obviously, like, you know, I really count on like that kind of stuff to help me get by. So I really appreciate it, even though I'm like not there to follow through on the things I said I was gonna do. And trust me, I do feel bad about it. There we go. Okay. I think what I'm going to end up doing is once this hand is dry, I'm going to go get that different pink because I am not convinced. Like, you can't even, I can't even see it with my eyes. Like, one looks like barely, like just like a tint of like pink in it. And then the other one is white and you can like kind of tell, but it's not like enough of a contrast. All right, let me put the second coat of the white on first before I judge, but I don't see that big of a difference between them. We might even do 3 coats at this point. I'm not convinced that those are very sharp and drastic. Oh god, I put way too much white on. Okay, it's a little better. A little bit better, but it's still not perfect. Oh my god, Rain, have you heard any tracks from the Mugenics OST? They're so good. I actually think that's one of the games that I'm meaning to buy and play at some point on stream. So the answer to your question is no, I haven't, but hopefully soon I will. One of them just looks like light tan, not much of a difference, but I just got here and the blue looks great. I agree on the blue. I do have a different pink variant that I can use. The problem is, though, is that my nails are wet now. And my nail polish is usually stored in my bathroom. And I only brought these 3 colors plus the final clear coat to put over the top of them. So I don't mind doing 1 more coat each. But I gotta go and grab the bottle from the bathroom. And I'm absolutely terrified that if I stick my hand on my wheel of my wheelchair, the paint on my nails is going to get ruined instantaneously. But I agree with you. It's definitely not quite there. Y'all like my mouse pad? You ever see this? I don't know if I've ever showed this to anybody before. Well, we can look at this for a second. So it says, "Little do you realize, I will rule the world." And I made this when I was a teenager. I've had this stupid thing. I think my mom ordered it for the computer because she thought it was cute. And then I took a black permanent marker and started drawing on it. So I guess, technically, this is Rain's first doodle. Technically. Anyways, I keep it by my computer. I just thought it was funny. I mean, it's so silly. He just changed a couple things about it. Hey, I mean, maybe it was a sign that I've always been a cat girl. I don't know how this thing has survived since I've been like 16 years old, but yeah, this thing has been around since, I'm not even a joke, since I was, that's why it looks so old and crappy and faded. Mouse pad and its cats, the irony, it's all of it's dripping with so much hype. I called them the little kitties of doom. Because they're evil. And they're adorable. I mean, that's the worst kind of combination, right? Evil and cute? How can you win? Might want to just check out the OST even without playing the game. It's like that good. There was another game that I've been listening to the OST to. What is it? Tohao or something like that. That was really good. Miss Rain is not 16 anymore. What lies are these? No, I'm 20. Definitely 20. Definitely 20. Definitely would never be older than 20 years old. In fact, I don't age. I've been perpetually 20 for like the past 6,000 years. Oh, goodness. Okay, so here's my strat. What I'm gonna do is wait like a minute or two more for these to dry. And then, because they say they're insta-dry, I don't agree with that. I don't believe it. Rain, what was the Norman conquest like? I wasn't around for that. I hung out. I like to hang out with the Egyptians and the Greeks. That was more my jam. Are the cats childhood photos? You know what? That's what I'm gonna tell people from now on. I'm gonna be like, this is a family photo. Guess which one I was? Definitely not the evil one. Definitely not the evil one. Alright. Are they dry? They feel dry enough where if I'm very careful, I can go grab the correct color and do that. So give me a second. What I'm going to do is we're going to switch scenes for a second over here. I'm going to put my microphone on mute. And I will be right back once I have the new color. All right, I am back and just in time to catch floating away in the act of gifting me some membership. So head pats for you, cutie. Thank you so much. Sorry I'm not, like, don't have the same, like, kind of energy I normally do. Like, I'm really trying. I'm really trying. I can't. I don't know why. I just can't today. I want to. The heart is willing, but the body is like, you know what, Rain? Go F yourself. Head pats in the chat if you... oh, goodness. Speak, Rain. Head pats in the chat if you ended up getting a membership. Mr. Lower, it's good to see you. Dark Raven, welcome to the stream. So I ended up getting a different pink. Now, I know it doesn't seem like it's a very different pink color, but I think it's gonna work. It's also sparkly and glittery, so we'll do something. Hi, Bloomy. Welcome to the stream. How you doing today? Alright, so what we're gonna end up doing, because I need to add another coat, and I don't want the coats to be, like, uneven, we're gonna do 3 coats, but we're going to test the pink first and see how it looks. I think it looks better. personally, but hold on, let me finish applying it and I think that looks a lot better though. Rain is great. Don't apologize. You're stupendous. I mean, I could stop saying that word halfway through. It changed the entire meaning of what you said. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I don't always feel that way. All right, here's where we're at. Close up, enhance, zoom, focus. God, you can really not tell the difference. They look so similar in color. Yes, I agree. One of them does look tan, and the other one, like, is like a white color, but like you really can't see that big of a difference between them. Worst default emoji with the eyeballs? I mean, that's definitely one of the worst default ones. Hold on. Where is, like, I've seen some, like, pretty... I don't like this one. This one's also pretty bad. That one's, like, just weird. And then, I don't know. Like, some of them are just, like, why would you have this? Like, what is this face? Like, I know it's supposed to be grumpy, but, like, why? And why are all of them different? Why didn't they just go with, like, a standard, like, face shape and just, like, change it? The eyeballs are pretty bad, but it reminds me of this show. It's not that bad because I used to watch the show called Real Monsters or something like that. It was on Nickelodeon. I can't remember, like, the actual title of it, but I used to watch that as a kid, and that's kind of what that reminds me of. So that one's not too bad for me. Okay, you want to know the emoji that triggers Rain the most? Though, you want to know what emoji actually, like, gives me a visceral reaction, and I'm just like, God, I hate that emoji so much. You ready for it? It's this one. Dark Raven! Oh my goodness, it's almost been a year, my brother. I don't know why, but when I say something to somebody and they just send me a thumbs up emoji back, it's like, okay, so you couldn't even bother to hit me with the K. You had to just give me a thumbs up. You couldn't even acknowledge it verbally. Like, not even a one-letter acknowledgement. In fact, I think it takes more effort to send the emoji with no, like, verbalization than it does to... So you hate me? No, here's the thing. I never really crash out about it. It's one of those things I, like, kind of, like, keep to myself. I tell some people about it, right? Obviously, I just told all of you about it, right? Like, it doesn't bother me that badly because it's a normal thing to do. But every time I see it, I'm just like, God, I hate that emoji so much. I send people thumbs up emojis. Now I feel bad. Well, like, other people probably see it as totally fine, right? Like, I'm just talking about me specifically. And it's only that one, right? So, like, in the Discord, we have, like, a Menhera thumb up where she's winking. I'm totally fine with that one because it's cute, right? But for some reason, just the bare thumbs up like this just is, like, cold. It's like, got it, right? Like, leave me alone. We're good. I don't know. Maybe it's just the way maybe I'm, like, interpreting, like, the message wrong, right? But it's, like, worse than a K for me, right? Like, you know, like that old meme when she hits you with the K? Right? You know what I'm talking about. It's worse than that. Doesn't it take more effort to send a thumbs up, though? Yes, but it's the lack of verbalization, right? It's just a pictogram that you've sent me now, right? It's like, you're not even willing to communicate with me anymore. So you sent me a picture expressing how you feel about it, which is, okay, got it. Oh God, Baytran. Watch, now the whole chat's just going to be filled with thumbs ups now. It doesn't trigger me that badly. It's more like a pet peeve. I know. I hate that. That's why I don't use Facebook Message. I don't even use Facebook. I got a Facebook account recently for No emotion in the thumbs up. That's my biggest issue with it. Like, when you send smiley faces and, like, emoticons, even, like, the basic ones, right? Like, they express something. They express an emotion or a feeling or something, right? Nothing more cold than just somebody's side of their hand going, yup, okay. That's not bad. See, like, this is cool. I'm fine with this. That's cool. You know, the rock symbol. That's the one I used to use. The metal one. Like, the rock out symbol. So, like, instead of sending people a thumbs up, I would actually reply with that instead. Because, one, it's different. I like being different. I like being unique. And two, yeah, it's metal. Right? Like, you can't misinterpret this. There is no sarcasm with this. It's like, rock on. That's it. Okay? Oh, God, lemons. I think the rock on one is, like, one of my favorite ones. Like, that's the one I like to send the most. Yeah, this one. Hold on. I'll pull it up in chat so you can see it. I mean, that one to me, like, there's no way to misinterpret that. There's no sarcasm there. And it's like, hell yeah, rock on. Keep it going. Right? I don't know. Maybe that's me. Maybe I'm weird. I am weird. What am I talking about? I know I'm weird. Okay. We're going to get rid of Make It Snappy because that was the lighter pink color. And then I got to do one more coat of the blue and then we can move on to the other hand. How long has this taken me? 45 minutes. Good God. Rain, don't tell this to Anna. Yesterday I had a really bad food poisoning, but I didn't rest. I just made loads of potato salad instead. I'll tell you what. I was supposed to rest more yesterday, too, but I'm really bad at doing that. Like, really bad. Oh, God, you can't even see me. I'm really not good with the webcam. I've only done the webcam a few times. There we go. Yay. Okay, so despite it not being the pinkest pink in the world, we do have blue, pink, white, pink, blue. Yay! So that's the first hand. The second hand, we're going to swap it around, and we're going to do pink, blue, white, pink, blue. Wait, what? Wait, did I do that? No. We're doing pink, blue, white, blue, pink. Oh, my God. But we got to wait for this hand to dry first before I do anything. Lumi, how's your day been going? Are you new around here? I don't think I've seen you around much. You know what I hate that, like, YouTube does is when I do the cat girl smile sometimes it sends this emoji. I hate that. I don't want to use the cat emoji. I want to do the :3. Yeah, y'all got it this time. Whose chat did I do it in recently and it did that? Oh, I was over in Sparrow. She's another VTuber. Plays Greg Tech. Pretty sure you could turn it off in the settings. Maybe I did already, but at least for my chat. Oh, Dark Raven makes some very beautiful music. I actually challenged Dark Raven to do a high BPM song based on a Sega Genesis track that I used to like from one of my favorite video games. And whenever I send these to Dark Raven, I do not want it to be the same song. What I'm looking for is, like, the inspiration, the essence, right? It's kind of like when you look at a drawing, you're like, I like that, but I could take it in my own direction and I could make something different, right? It's kind of like that. More like a reference. Look at that, my brother. Getting new subs left and right. I also have a link to anybody who wants to listen to Dark Raven's music, because they do a lot of the music for the channel and stuff here. So if anybody wants to listen to Dark Raven's music, I have a link to his channel in the description below. And hopefully the music, the background music, hasn't been too loud today or anything. For some reason, I can't hear it. I don't know why. Oh, wait, now I can. What the hell? I'm losing it. I swear to God, I'm losing it. Okay, cool. All right, now to do my right hand, which is the hand I'm the worst at. But I think this is dry enough to, like, where I can, like, I don't know, do it. Oh, Dark Raven has a tarot card? That would be really awesome. Okay, alright. So, you're gonna start with pink this time. And hopefully you'll be able to see easier this time, because I'll... I didn't mean to swear, sorry. Sorry about that. Really bad at doing right hand. Alright, just let it try. Just let it try. We'll try again later. How's the weather? Oh, it's so much better than it was last week. It's 72 in my room right now. It's very nice. I actually woke up chilly this morning. Alright, let's try blue now. Last but not least, okay, and we'll let that coat. I had somebody do a, it wasn't a tarot card. What was it? It was a Balatro card. That was really cool. I just finished the cover I mentioned earlier. The final product is on my LithP channel, but I pinged you in Discord after share. Ah, that's probably what the notification I heard on my phone was. I had to turn the volume all the way up on my cell phone so I could actually get, like, proper notifications. And I could hear my alarm. I don't know why I've been sleeping through all that crap and, like, not hearing it, but, like, it's been pretty bad. I had a weird dream tonight about there being, like, 35 people in VC on the Discord. I missed the talking event yesterday. I felt really bad. I saw people in there. I do want to participate in that stuff, like, regularly, but it's like, I was not good yesterday. I was worse yesterday than I am today, so. Yesterday was miserable for me. It was pretty bad, actually. Yesterday was awful. I hate when I get, like, when I screw my day up like that. There is nothing worse than falling off my own, like, plan because of, like, my own stupidity and, like, my own problems and stuff. Like, I'm too tired to, like, wake up on time and do the live stream. Like, what the hell? What am I, a teenager? I don't need to sleep until, like, 11 a.m. That's ridiculous. I have no idea why I slept that way. I didn't even wake up till, like, 10:30, 11 o'clock yesterday. I woke up, the alarm on my phone had been going off so long, it silenced itself, but it still had the alarm notification up. So when I pulled open my phone to see if, like, the alarm went off, it showed me the alarm, and it was like, tap to dismiss, but the sound stopped playing. I don't know if that's normal, if it normally does that. Apparently it does. Like, we went to bed and dreamed about going to bed, and then dreaming realized we were in a dream. And well, I've been having a lot of dreams recently, some, like, pretty messed up ones myself. I don't know if anybody wants to hear about it. They're not, like, nightmares. Like, calling them a nightmare would be disingenuous, because they're, like, not freaking me out, but they're just, like, weird, surreal, kind of, like, a little jarring. Okie dokie. I had a weird dream tonight. Oh, I already read that one. Like, we went to bed and dreamed about going to bed. Oh, I already read that one too. Is Miss Rain neurotypical or not, or undisclosed currently? Haha. Do you think I'm neurotypical? Honestly. Do I strike you as somebody who's neurotypical? I don't identify as neurotypical. I'm definitely neuroatypical. Or whatever the proper phrasing is for that. I don't even know. That's how messed up my brain is. I usually joke with people, like, when they ask me that question, and I usually reply with, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I can give you a list of medications that haven't helped. I think I do know what's wrong with me. I just don't talk about it a lot publicly. It's personal, and there's, like, some of the stuff has, like, stigmas involved with it and stuff like that. I don't want people to be, like, thinking I'm crazy and shit. Neurodivergent. I went with neuroatypical. Hey, like I said, I like being different. Neuroatypical. I'm sorry, that was ridiculous. Even by my standards, that was pretty dumb. A couple of things about me, like, I guess I'll bring up... I'll bring up one of them. Neurodivergent implies the existence of neuroconvergent. You know, that's like, you know, that's like what the Buddhists are really talking about with nirvana. It's actually neuroconvergence. No, I'm just kidding. Oh wait, that's pink, not white. Holy shit, I'm gonna mess this up. One of them that I struggle with a lot is, being bipolar. I'll talk about that a lot. A lot of people think that bipolar people just get like really pissed off and punch like a bunch of holes in the walls and shit. It doesn't really work that way, at least not for me anyways. I mean, I have gotten upset before, but thankfully I've never done anything crazy like that. But no, that is something that I do deal with on my own. It may explain a couple of things. If you've ever paid attention to my artwork, I think you can kind of pick up on it a little bit. I mean, artists usually draw like what they reflect and how they feel. They put that in their drawings. That's very much true for like my mood swings. But that's just like one of the things I just kind of deal with on the side. Crossing the neuro streams? You never want to cross the streams. Didn't we learn anything from Ghostbusters? You never cross the streams. Is it like overcast or thunderstorm? In what reference? Are you talking about collabs are now forbidden? I do fine with collaborations. Well, okay, here's the thing. There are some people I've done collaborations with, and I absolutely will continue to do collaborations with them over and over and over again. Folks like Leon, always. Open invite to come on my channel anytime. We could do any topic. I love Leon. She is always welcome to stream with me or participate in my live streams or in my content and invite herself here if she wants to, because I just enjoy her company that much. So there are YouTubers that I absolutely love working with. There are a couple of YouTubers that I've stopped. Like, I've just cut them off completely and I won't ever talk to them again because of something they've done. Like, during the course of the stream or something, and I'm just like, yeah, no, we're done here. We're done. I'm not ever doing this again. I was really polite to them. I was very nice about it. I sucked up the live stream like that one or maybe two times that I would do it with, like, those particular people. And then I was just like, yeah, I'm good. I'm not inviting myself into that kind of trouble again. We are close enough to bipolar that the professionals can't give a clear... It's really hard to diagnose. Because you can't really just tell if somebody's just, like, super hyper-motivated. Because that's genuine motivation, or if they're, like, manic and they're just, like, doing a bunch of stuff, like, to, like, a crazy degree. Oh, good morning, Snow. Welcome to the stream. Hope you don't mind me calling you Snow. I figured it would be better than the Masters. Or I could call you Master Snow. I mean, that seems a little too formal, though, for a chatting live stream. But hey, you tell me, you pick your poison there. It's cool? Alright, I'm glad you like it. How you doing today? Alright, we're gonna go for a third coat of pink. I'm gonna tell you right now, I am doing a terrible job on this hand. Look at how bad the thumb is coming out, because, like, I can't get the paint on evenly. That was cool. Good. That's good. I'm glad. It's Wednesday. We're halfway through the week. Almost there to the weekend. Unless you have to work this weekend, then it's irrelevant. I've had people say that to me before. And they're like, wow, Rain, you looking forward to the weekend? And it's like, You know I do this full time, right? I'm like, weekends are kind of irrelevant to me now. I don't work a typical 9 to 5. So, sure, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the weekend. Yep. Snow is rain, but cooler. But rain is cooler. I love the name Snow. One of my friends recently actually changed their name to Snow, which was a little surprising because I didn't expect them to change their name. But they did, and they picked Snow. And I was like, okay, cool. I like that. Our poison is the nightshade we grow in our garden. Hey, you gotta be careful with that stuff. Also, nightshade is the is one of the tools you can use as an artist to help protect your paintings from AI. Not that I actually do that, because it's already been figured out, and like the AI knows how to defeat it now, so it's kind of pointless to do it. It does help, but honestly, at this point, like, Google Gemini's already sucked up all my art via my YouTube channel anyways. I don't, like, kind of pointless. And it's a lot of extra effort to go back and fix. I mean, do you know how many drawings I've done at this point that I've never done that for? Like, God, it would take me forever to go back and fix all my drawings now. Is it? You know what? Maybe I need to look into that again. I don't know why, but I read somewhere and somebody was like, oh yeah, they just figured out how to defeat, like, Nightshade. And I'm like, oh great, well. I think I didn't put a bunch of time into applying that tool to my thing. The other issue I have, too, is when I do drawings on paper, what I'm worried about here. So, like, digital art, sure. I can add Nightshade. I can even add Nightshade as a layer, and I could even draw, like, under the Nightshade layer, right? And, you know, incorporate, like, the distortion into my work and stuff like that. That's all well and good, right? But what about my, like, drawing that I do on paper, like, with physical media? How am I supposed to Nightshade that? I'm worried that, like, when I start messing with things like that, it's going to distort the image too much. But I haven't messed around with it. That's just a fear that I'm just vocalizing. It's less effective, but not useless. Okay, so maybe I just misunderstood what they were what the discussion was. All right, we're gonna do blue again. Then, last but not least, we're gonna apply the I think we're gonna go for 3 coats on this one too, and then we'll finalize it with. That way, at least they're all evenly painted. Sides. I'm glad we're doing each pride flag, one for each hand. Nah, there were some people who are trying to just straight up lie that it's useless now. AI company represent. I don't recall where I heard it. I remember somebody talking about it in a video that I watched. I'm more apt to believe people from my own community, though. Okay, alright, so we're gonna get the clear coat ready here in a second. After we do the... I think we still gotta do one more, right? Wait, how many layers have I done so far? I don't even remember. God. Coffee time, I could use some. I tried to drink some coffee this morning, but it was making me feel sick to my stomach, so I stopped. So I can't even, like, enjoy my cup of coffee. Yeah, you should never trust anyone in proximity to I really don't. Unfortunately, like, the problem is that AI is literally shoved into everything. Everything. I'm, like, even really pissed off at DuckDuckGo for, like, even though they make it optional, right? It's like, why? Why is everybody so on board with ruining search results? It's not more convenient to search with the AI. I hate it. Drives me goddamn crazy. You can't find anything on Google or DuckDuckGo anymore. Everything's like some stupid AI summary. Then you go to click on, like, the links to see where they sourced it from, and, like, the sources sometimes don't even make any sense. And you're like, what the hell? Where did you even get this from? Where is this information coming from? There's no like, I miss the ye olden days where, like, every webpage was, like, unique and individualized. Now everything's just, like, this cookie cutter, like, crap, and it's, like, all endless articles of, like, AI summarized slop just so that it makes it to the top of the search results. And then what's even worse about that is you've got an AI bot in your search tool summarizing an article that was written by AI. Great, lovely. That's exactly the type of independent research I'm looking for. No one has any critical thinking whatsoever. It drives me crazy. And that's, like, one of the best tools that I try to teach people is think for yourselves. Right? Think for yourselves and question authority. Those are, like, the two most important things that you need to be able to do in your life, right? And you should always question authority figures, right? You should question your role models. You should question your heroes, right? These are normal things. I hate when people are like, oh, like, and I'll use myself as an example here, right? But, like, don't ever be like, oh, well, you know, she's Rain, so she just knows better, right? Absolutely not. Don't ever think that, right? Like, I'm not an authority, like, on everything. There are things I'm knowledgeable about, but I'm more than capable of making mistakes, like, repeating wrong information, right? Like, everybody does. We're all human, right? So I hate when everybody's like, oh yeah, they're the expert, they're the authority. You don't question them. You should question them. You should absolutely question every authority figure, including me. Including me. Every one of them. Every single one of them, right? If something feels off, ask them about it. Now, I've got a much more open book policy than probably a lot of other content creators have, right? But if, like, they're not willing to discuss something that should be openly discussed, I mean, that should be a red flag, right? Like, if a content creator comes up, if you ask a content creator and you're like, do you use AI in any of the stuff that you produce, right? And they go, well, you know, that's not really any of your business, right? Even if you like them and you support them, like, you should question that, right? Why are you unwilling to talk about it? Here's my, like, disclosure on AI. I have made videos and topics about AI. So yeah, I've used AI in the past for those videos specifically, but none of my content, none of my drawings, none of that is ever produced or used in tandem with AI. And all of my videos have been nothing but teardowns of AI. So I think we can all understand the reasons why I was using AI for those videos. It was to show an example of why AI is bad. I'm lucky enough to get an art job, mostly because art jobs are taken over by AI. And you know what's the thing, too, is, like, when this bubble pops and we can't afford the computers to render these images anymore, oh, wow. The artist will be back in demand again. I never take any information from any single source, always cross-reference. I try to. It's not as easy as you think, like, especially with some topics you're researching when they don't have a lot of information, right? And this comes up a lot in history, especially in, like, ancient human history, like Egypt. Like, Egyptology is full of single sources and like single hand accounts because that's all we have. We only have the writing of this one scribe who described like what they saw and what they did, and that's it. We don't have anybody else to back up what they said, so we don't know if it's true. We just have to assume that if it was important enough to be written down in a clay tablet, then it's gotta be true, right? Even if it wasn't. It's not like deception is like a 21st century invention. Like, we've been doing that shit since the dawn of humankind. I'm just gonna do one more coat just for good measure. And also because I lost count of how many coats I did, so... I know for sure this is the third coat. Yeah, you should always be checking. Like, floating away today makes a good point, though. Like, you know what's funny, too, is, like, you know, whenever a YouTuber says, I did independent research, I've fallen into this trap before, too. And, like, I've stopped saying this. Like, I did independent research. Yeah, you know what independent research from a YouTuber usually consists of? They Googled it for 5 minutes, found the, like, top 3 sources for their video, and just used those. That's, like, 99% of quote-unquote independent research. Most YouTube videos, you could probably produce yourself if you were willing to, like, look at the top 3 sources for anything you search and then write a script and put it together. That's pretty... Like, I've been trying to, like, reverse engineer how some of these YouTube videos have been made so I can start working on my own content like that. And that's pretty much what I've discovered. Like, when you go and look for the information that they actually used in some of these videos, you go, like, to Google the topic, right? And it's, like, the first 3 sources, like, and you're like, wow, they brought all this up in the video. Huh, funny that. Wait, did I do blue already? Did I just do, or did I not do blue? Oh, crap, I'm really losing it. I'm never brave enough to put on nail polish because I was diagnosed with anxiety a few months ago, and I found... Well, that's one of the reasons... I don't bite my nails, but one of the reasons I like painting my nails is so that I'll take better care of my hands. I also haven't painted my nails in a while. I've been putting off just because of, like, the move and all the other crazy shit that's been going on with me. And it's like, I really like having my nails painted. I've kind of felt bad but I haven't. I also missed my... I didn't even know this. I missed my laser hair appointment yesterday. So it's not even like I blew off the live stream to go do, like, a doctor's appointment or anything, or, like, you know, do something beneficial for myself. I actually missed my appointment. And 2 phone calls. I slept through 2 phone calls of them trying to call me and be like, hey, Rain, where are you? Do you want to reschedule this? It's ridiculous. Unpopular opinion, but I think what the experts say is much more likely to be true than what random people who don't... Yeah, I mean, like, here's the thing. I can make a well-researched, well-documented, well-cited and sourced YouTube video, but like I said, everybody's capable of making mistakes. Nobody's the ultimate authority on everything, right? Information changes over time. Facts become less factual with new information sometimes, right? And sometimes they just become false. So it's always a good idea to at least 3 sources. I would say 3 sources. Like, if you're going to watch a video on a topic, try getting 3 different, like, views from 3 different, well, good morning, Anna. And, you're allowed to oversleep. I'm not. I'm on a schedule. Mike, welcome to the stream. Not exactly art, but I hope you like my nails. We did trans mask pride on this side, and we're doing trans femme pride on this side. We have to keep my nails short because I have a bad tendency to pick at my... I scratched my nose really bad yesterday with one of my fingernails because I forgot they were long and sharp. No one snitch on me to Anna, please. She's watching the stream now. You gotta be careful. Once more on the correct account. Afternoon. You're good, my friend. I decided to take it easy and do nail painting this morning. Partly because I started listening to your advice yesterday about... You know what's funny? You know what? I'm just gonna do it as a poll. Hold on a second. I've got a question. There we go. Very simple. I'll put it up while we're still doing my nails. And let me go ahead and change that so that y'all don't have to see it on screen. I agree. You know what? Not only do you get head pats for that, my friend, but we should run a poll. I mean, she is already the Anna Administrator, but we could change her title to the Prime Minister of Coolness. Okay, I want you all to answer honestly, especially if you've been hanging out in the community for a while, and just be real with me. I'd love to know your perception versus mine, and I'll tell you what my perception is once I see what all of your perception is. But I'd love to see what your perception... It is not a good sign that it is at 100% yes right now. Holy shit. That is not... Alright, I expected it to be like, you know, maybe a 50-50 split there. Holy shit. There's no... Okay, there we go. We have a detractor now. Oh, goodness. Yes, I already have a certificate of coolness signed by the Empress of Japan. That's actually really cool. I'd like to get one of those. I just woke up and it's too early for anyone to call me cool. I'm gonna call you cool, because it's very cool. That's always cool at Rain's house. We always keep it nice and cool here. You know what's really cool? Being a good roommate. You know how, like, underrated that is? I've had roommates in the past. They don't usually go too well. The certificate is on Discord. I'll have to take a look at it later. Okay, alright. Are these dry? Before I start messing around. They are dry enough. Okay. Last step, we're gonna do the clear coat. It's nearly 3 p.m. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the clear coat I just like to do because it makes it more shiny. And it helps the nails, like, stay protected from, like... Because I ding my hands all the time. I'm constantly drawing and stuff like that. So the clear coat's going to help, like, keep the colors in place. Also, head pats in the chat for floating away today. Thank you so much, Cutie, for the super head pat. Everybody's been really kind and supportive. As always. It's, like, not even recently anymore. I can't say that. Everybody's just always so nice and supportive. It really does help me out a lot. I know you can't really see, but it's just clear. So there's not much to see, but I'll try to paint this in a way that is at least visible. I like putting a very thick coat of the clear on. Whether or not that's a good idea, I don't know, but that's what I do. I just feel like if you really glob a thick layer on, it helps like really protect the color underneath that. I mean, that could probably not be true, but that's what my intuition says. My intuition says go big or go home. There's a soda named Cool with a K, but cool in my country means cabbage or coal, which we find funny. So what do you think of Kool-Aid? Is it called Kool-Aid there? Oh, God. Ah, yes, a nice, tall, refreshing glass of Kool-Aid. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Boom! Nothing like a good old tall glass of Kool-Aid. Yum! I hated the taste of Kool-Aid when I tried it. I mean, that's why there's the meme of, like, don't drink the Kool-Aid. And for the people who do, right, that means they're, like, easily tricked and deceived. Because it's like, you like Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid is like one of the worst things you can drink because it's literally just sugar water. It is like just got zero health benefits. It's just food coloring, sugar, and water. That's all you're drinking. And some like artificial flavors. At least if you're going to drink something like that, get like powdered Gatorade. Or like, I don't know, like a pink lemonade ice or an iced tea mix or something. At least get something not Kool-Aid. Which, to be fair, I guess those are technically still Kool-Aids, but just like with extra steps and ingredients. I remember when Rain asked how many stream days she should do per week, and we said 2 so she wouldn't overwork herself, only for Rain to overrule that decision and later give herself more days anyways. I also, Rain, try not to overwork herself for no reason challenge. I mean, there are reasons. All right, I will get into like my perspective on this a little bit. Jesus, 89% of you say that I overdo it. Great. Okay, so let's talk about Rain's perspective while I do the clear coat on myself. Well, hold on. Definitely not. Okay, we're gonna wait a second on the other clear coat. Here's my perspective on it. So if you asked me the same question, I don't ever feel like I actually do nearly enough. I look at other content creators. I look at myself, my own energy level, my strengths, my capabilities from both before the accident and after. And I know that a lot of people look at it and they're like, the standards are way too high, right? But those are the standards that I've been operating off of for like, God, 20 years now. And I realize some of them are not the healthiest and greatest. But I don't know. I feel like I don't ever do enough, honestly. If you asked me this question, I would tell you, no, I didn't do enough today. In fact, I should do more. It's not good enough that I live streamed for 2 to 4 hours today. I gotta do it every day. But I can't do it every day. That's unsustainable. So I do it, 5 days a week now? Take 2 days off. And then on those days off, I don't actually take time off normally. So normally, like, on my quote-unquote days off, that's when I clean my house, and I do a lot of my self-care. And I usually spend, like, half the day cleaning, and then I like, if I need, and then on Sundays, like, I go out and I do grocery shopping, and I do my laundry and stuff like that, and it's, like, take care of, like, bills and like if I need to go to the bank and stuff like that. That is like usually what I do. So it's like I never really have a day off ever. And I don't know why, but I just like I never think about that. Like when I was like maybe really young, when I was a teenager, I'd have days where I'd like just want to lay on the couch and kind of do nothing sometimes. But now I don't even mean to do it. I just like all of a sudden, like it's almost like I don't even think about it. It's just like I want to draw, and then like the next 6 hours of my life have been nothing but drawing intensely, nonstop for hours, and I don't even realize I do it to myself. I just do it. It's the same with like these live streams. I start the live streams, and it's like if you asked me if it's been an hour and a half, I'd tell you no, we just started. But apparently an hour and a half has already gone by, and I had no idea. So, like, that's kind of part of the problem, is that I don't realize I'm overdoing it until, like, people are basically shouting at me. And then I kind of have a tendency not to believe them because I have really high standards for myself. Standards that I would never have for anybody else, I have for me. Rain, if somebody else had your work schedule and they asked you if they were overworking themselves, what would you say? I would tell them to take it easy also. But I'm different. I'm the exception to the rule. I've always been the exception. That's what they taught me anyways. No more earn money so I can betray. No, work more, earn money so I can betray you. The Baytran understands. Baytran gets it. Good thing no one knew my work schedule I set for myself. I mean, that's the thing too, is like the problem with me being in charge of work for myself, which it means it's always work and very little like time to rest. And I do try, right? But like the second I do try to like lay down in my bed, right, and like try to take it easy and watch some videos, even if I'm watching something interesting, I'm still thinking about all the things I should be doing while I'm watching a thing or trying to like relax, right? Like I don't sit there and just chill the hell out. I sit there and think about the culmination of things I could be doing right now that would further my actual goals and plans. But I choose to be a lazy princess and lay on my back because I'm a little tired. Ugh. Now, is that a healthy perspective to have for myself? Probably not, but that's how I'm just being real about how I feel about it. Like, if you want me to be honest, like that's what I go through. That's exactly my thought process there. It's like I finally sit down to relax. I can watch some like videos, and like I pretty much have to force myself to like chill out for a few hours. And it's like every video I'm tempted to like pick up my iPad and start checking something else, or like go into the Discord and like maybe something needs to be moderated, or maybe I need to check my analytics, or oh, maybe I should start writing a script for a video instead of watch like that next YouTube video, right? Stuff like that. I always find a reason to pull myself away from winding down. And even when I go to relax, all of my hobbies, all of the things I used to do to like relax independently, I've unfortunately made the mistake of making content for it. So it's like all my art is content now. All my gaming is content now. I don't really game to relax unless it's like on the SMP, but even like when we're playing like Vox Libre and stuff, I still am working on projects and stuff like that. So it's like, it is fun for me. I enjoy it very much, but at the same time, it's also still, you know, a chore, a project, a thing that, you know, I'm doing for the channel that like ultimately builds towards that goal, you know? Yeah, I do that too. I'm glad other people can understand where I come from on that. Out of all the people who've seen me do some pretty crazy shit, I'd say probably Crazy Kritas gotta take the cake on that one. First time viewer here, maybe that's not the right time, but what's your setup? Also, Kitty Mousepad looks adorable. Rem, welcome to the stream. Sorry I almost missed you there. Do I have Twitch? I do have a Twitch. I'm gonna be real with you. I haven't streamed Twitch in like frickin' forever. I'm pretty much only here on YouTube. What is my setup? So I try to use mostly open source software. Well, pretty much all open source software. So, I'm using OBS, and I'm using a program, called PNG Tuber Plus, which is an open source program you can download. And then as far as my model is concerned, this is my character. I've designed this character, and I do art of my own character too. So I draw. If you'd like to see some of my drawings, I can show you some in a couple of minutes here, once my fingernails dry a little bit. And if you're willing to wait. I can't stay awake long enough to overwork. That's how I feel these days. You really should be getting sleep. I'm gonna start yelling at you, Raven. Don't be like me. Listen, I do this shit so you don't have to. If anybody's gonna suffer from burnout around here, it's gonna be me. Oh, goodness. But anyways, like, that's, like, a lot of what I deal with. And it does, like, escalate. And, like, I hate to say this, too, but it's like, you know, a lot of that stuff that they taught me in the military, like, it's not rude to say. You're welcome to give me your feedback and your opinion. I want to hear it. I'm open to it. The microphone? Yeah. So what ended up happening is I don't have my headphones on right now. I have a Bluetooth speaker above me. So even though the audio didn't, like, fully pick up on the microphone, it still picked up for my model. And my model's mouth was moving along with it. Also, thank you, Floating Away, today. Here's the thing. A lot of people have been mentioning this to me, not just people here, you know, obviously who come to these streams, right? Or who are in the Discord regularly. I've had a lot of people, like, recently tell me, why don't you just do less, right? But it's like, you know, like, there's a lot. There's a lot I have to take care of. I have like, responsibilities and things like that, and the reason why I don't chill is because I'm scared that if I let off the gas a little bit, you know, well, then yeah, everything's gonna fall apart, right? Like, I've been through a lot of bad shit recently, and the last thing I want to do is have more bad shit happen because I didn't do enough work, because I didn't stay on top of it, or I wasn't paying attention enough. So I will pay lots of attention. I'm very good at that. They taught me to stay awake for guard duty for up to 2 days. So, you know, hey, I could do a 48-hour watch if I need to. Do you know what I mean, though? Like, I'm not saying that's the healthiest approach to it, but, like, there's a lot of fear and anxiety around being able to pay my bills and not, like, have my living situation explode out from under my feet anymore, right? I'm trying to get towards, like, stability, and the only way I can see to do that would be, like, working my cute little butt off. I don't know anything else to do. Like, I have tried applying for jobs and stuff, but, you know, when somebody wants to hire me, and I don't have to lie to them about being in a wheelchair, that would be great. But, you know, we've been through that conversation. I've been trying to get a part-time job or like even a full-time job for like a year and a half now, and nobody ever nobody picks up the phone, because as soon as they find out I'm in a wheelchair, they just go for the next candidate. Right? And it's like, maybe I could find work if I wanted a serious, super full-time job that was like 40 to 60 hours a week. But it's like, I don't have the appetite for that anymore. What I was hoping to do was like get like a remote job in like a call center or something and just work part-time to help like ends meet. Like, it was never my intention or my plan to like try to use my YouTube channel to be my only source of income. I applied for disability too and have been denied twice now for disability. Now, third time's the charm, I'm sure. And a lot of people who have been through this process tell me it's normal to get denied several times. Like, not even 3 times. Like, it could be more than 3 times, right? But it's like, I don't earn any money during this time, you know, stuff like that. So I always have to worry about, like, that kind of stuff in the background. And it's not my audience's responsibility, but it's also the reason why I'm so vocal about my thanks. When you all do send in monetary support or a gift or something that does help me out, it doesn't have to be money, right? But if you do something for me, I genuinely appreciate it, because I'm working very hard, and at least like somebody recognizes that from time to time. It you know, and like, I don't know. Anyways, that's where I'm at there. Hopefully all of that made sense, or none of it made sense. Who knows? I think the nails are almost dry. At least dry enough to, like, move my hands around again. Otherwise, we're going to just sit here with this paper towel and not screw my desk up. Also, let me give you some hearts and head pats, my friend. You get both this time. Hearts and head pats for you. Always feel free to speak your mind with me floating away today. I like hearing your opinions on things. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end the poll now. Jeez. That's a brutal one. Oh, open source Linux girl. I see respects for that. Love to see it. Jobs don't like to hire queer and or disabled people, unfortunately. Even when they tell otherwise, a lot of people still can't accept this. So this, like, my mom has been trying to help, like, find a job for me. So, like, when she talks to, like, her peers and stuff like that, if somebody mentions that they're looking for somebody, right? So my mom mentioned to, like, one of her peers, be like, oh, my daughter's looking for a part-time job. She could, like, do that, but just as a heads up, she's in a wheelchair. And the person literally replied to my mom, oh, no, I don't think that's going to work out. I need somebody who could be on their feet all the time. And she's like, what's the job you're, like, doing there? And it's, like, for, like, doing office work, like a secretary position. But apparently it's important that I'm able to be on my feet. Even though, like, I move faster and more agile in my wheelchair now than I do, like, than regular folks do. Apparently, I need to be able to stand. That's just, like... And, like, alright, and a lot of people are like, well, but what about the Americans with Disabilities Acts? I thought that was illegal. They don't have to disclose to you that they don't... Like, the person can think to themselves, right? And go, I don't want to hire somebody in a wheelchair. And then they'll just say, sorry, you're not the right candidate for this job position, and just move on. Right? They only break, like, ADA laws when they specify that they're not hiring you because you're disabled. Right? They're not hiring you because you're pregnant. They're not hiring you because you're a woman, right? That's when it, like, becomes specifically illegal. But if they just say, yeah, sorry, we decided to pick somebody who is more qualified, that's it. That's the end of it. Leon, welcome to the stream, cutie. I remember struggling with getting literally any job to respond even before I came out, and thus had no visible disability or anything. Yeah, it's tough, and I'm glad that you were able to land in the career that you were able to do. You know, and I keep thinking about, like, applying to, like, those kind of jobs too, but it's just like... like, it's, like, such a big hassle. Like, I went to go look into that, and then they're like, you gotta email, like, this whole other thing, and you gotta fill out all this other stuff for it, and it's like, So it's made that, like, if you're disabled and you need like exceptions and stuff like that, they make you fill out extra paperwork. So it's even more work to apply to some of these places. I feel like my nails are at least dry enough to where I can like pack this up now. Not that we're done with the stream. I just wanted to like... I know I said to Rem a minute ago I'd show off some of my art. This is a good opportunity since Leon is here. Leon is the subject of one of the drawings that I've done recently, so. Oh, Mike! Had pats in the chat for Mike. I'm gonna go to Ko-Fi right now and see what you wrote. And for anybody who doesn't know, if you leave me a support message on Ko-Fi and you do it on live stream, I try my best to read it, because like the bot won't read the Ko-Fi messages. So I'll read your Ko-Fi messages. Okay. 1 second here. Time to round things up. Aw, Mike. That was so... Aw. You didn't have to round anything up. Just having you here as always. Thank you, Mike. That was really generous and sweet. Especially after, like, how shitty I've been feeling recently. What software slash plugin are you using for displaying the chat on stream? So I'm using OBS. As far as, like, my operating system is concerned, I run everything through Linux Mint. I am a Linux Mint girl. One of my favorite memes is that meme with, like, the bell curve. And you got, like, the really, like, not smart person on the one on the left end that uses Linux Mint, and then you got the genius on the other right-hand side of it that also uses Linux Mint. Everybody else's distros in the middle. Say what you want about Linux Mint, but, like, I've had the least amount of issues with it because it's so, like, straightforward and takes forever for any updates to go through, which can be a problem for some people, but not for me. I need system stability. I need more stability in my life, not less of it. So this is a brand new drawing pad I got, Rem, when, like, I had, like, a little bit of a housing crisis, like, 2 months ago, and I started drawing again in my notebook. Hold on, I'm gonna pull this up so I can get it back better. There we go. So this is, like, one of the first... I used to do a lot of sketch work, but I, like, stopped doing sketches for a while to, like, practice digital art, but now I'm getting, like, a little sick of doing digital art, so I started going back to sketches. So this was, like, more of, like, a warm-up one, and then this is the second one I've done recently. Oh, sorry, let me try to center this so you can actually see the drawings properly. There we go. So this is the second one that I done. This is all graphite again, and I do my artwork through, like, if you're asking, like, what software I use to do any digital artwork, I use Krita, which, again, is another open source, program. No, not Mint Arch! Skeleton Box, welcome to the stream, cutie. Chaos, welcome, I see you there, too. Mint is good enough. I mean, that's what I recommend to most people, because it's just easy, it's simple. Most people will be able to figure it out, right? Like, because most people, like, kind of still need, like, if they're brand new to Linux and they've never heard of it before, like, they kind of need their hand held a little bit. And Linux Mint does a really good job of being familiar enough for most folks to be able to, like, to understand. This is one I did for Pride. I posted this in one of the art contests in our Discord. Your shape design and line quality has definitely gotten stronger. I feel like drawing digital art for a while helped me improve with this. The very first drawing I did here, not my best work, right? But that was, like, more like kind of me getting used to the media again. And now, like, I'm starting to, like, warm up to it a lot. And I'm, like, really starting to remember why I prefer drawing with like physical media over like digital art. And not to say that my digital drawings aren't good, they can be good. I just don't have the same kind of passion and relationship with digital art as I do with like physical media. Like this, I have a real world solid connection to, and it's that real world feeling. It's the feeling of the pencil dragging across the paper, and I can feel the paper like getting dug into with the pencil. And like when I blend, I can feel it. I can feel how much pressure I'm putting on the blend, and I can look at it and I can observe instantly what I'm doing in real time. And it isn't like the way that I like tried to describe this to Anna the other day is like there's nothing wrong with doing things digitally, but I feel like it's like more of a calculation of what you want and not necessarily a real actual thing that you can manipulate. And you can make really cool, very realistic drawings on like with digital art, but like for me, this is where the real magic happens, at least for me as an artist. Trying various drawing mediums and tools and broadening your perspective, definitely feedback loops. There's nothing wrong, and I forced myself to draw on the tablet for a while because I wanted to get good at it. There shouldn't be a reason why I'm bad at drawing on a drawing tablet. It was the same reason I was bad at drawing on paper at first. I just was unfamiliar with it. But now I am more familiar with it, so I wanted to go back to this again. Maddie, welcome to the stream, cutie. You're the cutest. Have you looked at any tutorials? Are you self-taught artist? Leon can also attest to this. I'm mostly self-taught, and then I run to Leon and cry sometimes, and I go, Leon, I can't figure it out. Can you help me? But mostly I try to figure out most concepts by myself. So most of my drawings are referenced. Like, so when I first started drawing, like a long time ago, 99% of what I would do would be like fan art. I would find something cool that I liked, and I'm like, I'm gonna redraw this thing for practice. That's how I started. Now this is like obviously my own character. I try to come up with like my own stuff now. Here is one I did for Leon and I yesterday. Leon, I still am trying to nail that cheek. I don't know how you do it the way you do it and make it look so cute. And I think it's like a lack of practice on my end, because like usually with my drawings, my cheeks like are covered up by my hair, so I don't have to draw that like puffy part as often. But like the way you do it on yours, like just so much better. But this is a drawing of me and Leon. Obviously Leon has been very inspirational to me, not only as a fellow artist who's given me a ton of like art advice, but for those who are not aware, and a lot of you already know this fact already, but it was Leon's art specifically that made me want to try drawing for the first time. I could not draw a single thing before that, and yeah, that's where I got started with art, was because she was drawing and posting it on the internet, and I was like, wow, what a cool drawing. I wish I could draw. Here's one I did yesterday. This one is kind of a summary of the frustration that I've been feeling recently. I also wanted to do like a full body pose because I don't really get a lot of opportunity to draw myself. Like with my full body, I also don't draw feet very often, so I'm not very good at that. Smaller hands, I'm still struggling with a little bit, but I still think this came out all right. Like, this is not bad. Decent, at least. I remember going the hard way, trying to figure out anatomy before all the fancy stuff. I just went for it. I just straight up just like jumped in. Whether or not that's good advice or not, I'm not going to sit there and defend that, because, you know, having tools and like doing a tutorial and stuff, like that's probably a good idea, right? But yeah, we're gonna switch over to here. Hi. But I hope you enjoyed at least looking at that. I should probably turn the webcam off. Hold on, wait. Wait, that'll be a smart thing to do. Rain, you should turn the webcam off when you're not using it. There we go. I'm paranoid about this thing. You know what? I'm not gonna leave it plugged in. I'm unplugging it. I don't trust it. I'm gonna hack my freaking computer one day. You know, that's the funny thing too, is like, you know, they can't like record your microphone or your webcam if it's unplugged from your computer. So just food for thought there. Whoa, what is going on with my model? Crazy amount of noise going on. I don't know why it's picking all that crap up, but okay. There's something going on with my model. Hold on. Is that better? I think that's better. Okay. Thank you so much. It was very entertaining. I'm glad YouTube recommended. Aw, I'm glad to meet you too. Oh, wait, great. Now my model's not talking at all. There we go. She's fixed again. I appreciate it. This isn't like the most lively. I promise you, I'm usually like come here with like a lot more energy and stuff, but like I'm sure you overheard some of it. Like I've been going through. I haven't been feeling very good recently, and apparently the entire community thinks I work myself to death. I'm my own worst enemy. I'm gonna get my desk cleaned up for a few minutes. Not ending the live stream yet. Like I said, I still want to like hang out for a bit longer. I'm not done yet. It's not over, but I am packing up some of my stuff, so like my desk isn't like a mess. They can't record you if you don't speak. I mean, I don't talk by myself. I mean, like, I'll self-reflect to myself internally. Like, I have an internal monologue, but it's not like even if you were recording the inside of my room, you'd hear anything interesting anyways. Maybe some sighs and some grunts and stuff, like, every once in a while, like, from in and out of my wheelchair and shit. Which, I'm not sure if anybody saw the parade video. If you did, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad you all enjoyed it. It's not like a huge deal or anything. I'm not going to like oversell the parade video or anything. It's just my first Pride event. I made a short, sweet video that just talked about why I couldn't go last year, even though I really wanted to. And I showed up to the event and everything, and I couldn't participate anyways. So it just kind of goes over that. It shows some highlights from the parade, some of the cool things that I thought I saw there. And then, yeah, we go and visit downtown. We hang out there for a little bit. It's like 4 minutes long. You either work hard or your chat gatekeeps you from working by donating their life savings. Chat, pick your side. Oh my goodness. And you know what's like crazy from my perspective though? Is like, I actually do like kind of feel bad about that, even though this is the only thing I do. This is all I do full-time now, right? Like, until I find a part-time job somewhere else, right? This, for all intents and purposes, is my full-time job. But I actually feel guilty about it. Like, when I earn money from doing this, like, I don't know. I like to consider a lot of the folks in the community to not just be, like, part of my audience, but, like, some of you are my friends. Like, Crazy Krita here, I've known for years. I consider Crazy Krita to be a friend. Not just that somebody that just shows up in my audience one day. I know specific things about Crazy Krita, and they know specific things about me just from being around me all these years. Crazy Krita knew me before I came out as a trans woman. So it's like, I get it, but it's like, I also, like, sometimes I feel bad because it's like, I don't know. Like, I shouldn't. People tell me I shouldn't. I watch other YouTubers do it all the time, and they're constantly plugging their audience with, like, all this crap. And it's just like, I don't know. I don't want to do that. Like, I guess asking for donations is fine because I am an artist, right? And I do come here and I do live stream, but it's like, every time I've thought about, like, trying to, like, set up a sponsorship or do something else like that, it feels wrong. Rain be doing the parasocialism in reverse. I'm trying to create a good community for all of you to have fun in, right? So that we can all be ourselves. That's the most important thing, right? and that we can all enjoy the same kind of activities we all like individually like, right? That's why I've opened up like an art section and, you know, a math section. Like I don't care what we add, right? Nerdy stuff, art stuff, music stuff. Like I want you all to be able to do that, and I'm glad that you've picked my community as a safe space to be able to create in. As an artist, I very much value that, and I'm glad you all see the value in it too. So that's like really what my main goal is. So I guess if you are going to donate for anything, well, I mean, the money goes towards that. I can expand the refuge more and more. The more I have, the better it can be. Oh, Bram. Oh my goodness. Head pats in the chat for Rem. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, cutie. I appreciate that. Extremely helpful. Is that your first super head pat? I call them super head pats, by the way. If you join our Discord and we have like sections for it, just let me know and I can get you added to like the super head patters and stuff like that. Oh, that reminds me. Anybody who does do that and I haven't like updated them like in the Discord, just let me know. I'll fix that. I got to do it manually sometimes. Rem seems new, so I bet yes. Well, you know what's funny is that like I obviously have been kind of like down recently. And I just lost 5 subs the other day, and I know it's only 5 subs, right? But I'm just like, every time that happens and I like miss a live stream or I sleep, like something happens, right? I'm just like, yep, here it goes. This is it. This is the wave of unsubscriptions. I finally have done it. I finally have like destroyed my goodwill with everybody. And I know it's a slippery slope, and I tell people all the time not to like fall for slippery slopes. And the reason I say that is because I do it to myself sometimes too, right? There's no logic behind that, right? Like, and you know what's funny about like that thought is like the next day I checked and I got 5 more subs back. So it like turned out to be like a wash. It was 0. It was a net gain of 0. I do wish though, like, I don't know, like, the success would come a little faster, I guess. I mean, I've been doing this for years now, but I'm also, like, of all my peers, I'm one of the bigger channels in, like, the small group of YouTubers I know, so I guess I'm doing pretty good. Maybe I should give myself more credit, but I don't. It's okay, Rain. At least you have a good sleep schedule. I think the only reason I've been sleeping more, though, honestly, is just because there's something going on with me. I am suspicious, and nobody, like, run with this, right? Like, I've got to go to the doctor and get this checked out, but I've been talking to my mom, and I've been talking to a few other people in the community that have this condition. I'm concerned that I may also have fibromyalgia. It's something I've been having conversations with my mother about because she has it. Apparently, not only is it hereditary, but it's triggered by severe, like, physical trauma, of which I had 4 years ago. So, yeah, something that I'm looking into. And a lot of the symptoms that I've had recently kind of mesh up with that. Well, is my chat off sync? Hold on a second. Whoa, 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 whoa. Why are things in one chat and not in the other? I'm missing stuff. Hold on. Wait a second. Wait, what is going on here? Honestly, surprised many folks sub to my uncutie tushes. They do. There is nothing not cute about you. I refuse to accept that, especially after I did your drawing and it came out pretty adorable. Especially compared to me. I mean, like, obviously, of the 2 girls in that drawing, the dragon girl has got to be the cutest. I mean, Rain is just weather after all, but dragon girls, now that's something special. Rain gets extra credit? Extra credit for cuteness? I don't know why, but YouTube is like differentiating between the live chat and the top chat, and you would think the live chat would show the things from the top chat. Oh god, this is probably why I miss people's stuff sometimes. Lovely. At least fibromyalgia has a lot of treatment options now. Yeah. You know what one of the like medications for fibromyalgia is? Gabapentin, which is what they used to prescribe to me like a while ago. And if y'all remember, I had a really bad like time with that medication, and I spent a month like getting off that medication, and the withdrawals were so brutal. It was horrible. That medication is like giving Rain a lobotomy. I can't think clearly. I misremember things. Like, I'm not the real me on that medicine, so I stopped taking it. And I'm wondering, because they prescribed me gabapentin not for fibromyalgia, but just to help me with my pain. And I think I didn't realize I had the condition at first because they inadvertently gave me the medication. Even though it was prescribed for an unrelated reason, it was probably helping treat those symptoms. And it's only now that I've been off that medication, I'm starting to be like acutely aware of some of the more severe symptoms of fibromyalgia that are starting to like kind of crop up here. If that makes sense. Anna is cool, Rain is cute, accepted, or do I have to make you both? I definitely need a certificate. I'm not going to believe anything without hard evidence. And it needs to be, I need it to be notarized by an authority, too. You got to get some sort of authority figure to, like, notarize and stamp it and seal it. So, welcome to the stream. How you doing, cutie? YouTube won't show some messages in the chat, and they won't show some messages in the live chat. I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't. Oh my god, Override Tato OC art? I love Tato. She is like definitely I'm glad we're vibing. I'm glad we're vibing here, Rem. I love Tato. I do love Miku. Not as much as Tato. I definitely relate to Tato way more. Like, as a like character, we are very similar in like so many ways. But Miku's just good, just because Miku's adorable. I like drawing Miku. I have several Miku posters. I have lots of Vocaloid posters in my room. I'm trying to get more Kasane Tato posters. I have like 3 Miku posters. Actually, no, I have 2 Miku posters. One poster that has like just a bunch of different Vocaloid characters on it. I would like to get at least 2 Kasane Tato posters. They're hard to find. I might just end up drawing my own. Oh, you missed it, Soul. Oh, you didn't see it. Hold on, wait. I'll plug my webcam back in for a second so you can see. I finished painting my nails already. But I'll go ahead. I'll plug it in. You can see it. Hold on. I got to switch screens. And then I've got to turn the technology on again. And here we go. Okay, cool. Give it a second. It's going to be laggy for a second until... Oh, come on. No, why are you doing this? What the hell? Why can't you... Oh, no. Now the webcam is broken. No, it's not broken. It's just OBS is being terrible. Hold on a second. Let me do this again. All right, remove the source. Yes. God damn it. Add a new source. Yes, we're going to do a video capture device. Yes, device. You really can't recognize this? It literally just worked. Oh my god. Why? Why is my life gotta be like this? Did nothing go right? Okay, for whatever reason, the webcam won't turn on now. I don't know if I just broke the webcam or not, but the webcam literally won't turn on now. This is a brand new Logitech webcam. And this is the first time I ever used it. I'm sorry, Saul. You're going to have to go back a little bit to see my nails. I'll take a picture of it, though, and I'll post it. But yeah, we did the nail painting portion of the stream already. Now we're doing the chatting portion of the stream. I also showed off some of my art, too. I'm sorry. Is the webcam... I unplugged it, and then I went to go plug it back in, and then it won't even power on now. Like, the power won't even work for it. Don't worry. Like I said, I'll post a picture. I'll post it on my social media. I'll post one in Discord, and I'll post one on the YouTube channel in the community tab so that y'all can see my nails. But what I ended up doing is I did blue, pink, white, pink, blue on my left hand. And on my right hand, I did pink, blue, white, blue, pink. And that way, I'm representative of both versions of the flag. So we've got Trans Femme Pride on the left hand, and we've got Trans Mass Pride on the right hand. And the reason I picked left hand for Trans Femme is because I'm not left-handed, so I consider my left side to be softer. The webcam was overloaded with cutie imagery. I don't know about that. I used to make a joke because, like, people would ask me for selfies. Like, when I first would transition, I wouldn't want to send it to them, but I'd be like, I can't do that. If I take a selfie of myself, you know, the computer, the camera screen is going to crack instantaneously because it can't process that much ugliness. Did you plug it into it's a USB-C? But yes, I did plug it into the correct socket. I'm gonna try again. It's like the little light on the front of it doesn't even work now. Like before it had like a little light to say like, yeah, I'm plugged in, I'm powered up, I'm ready to go. And now it doesn't even do that. I'm a hot mess. Alright, give me 2 seconds. I need to use the ladies' room and get a refill of water, so give me just 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, I am back. Give me just a second here. I'll get everything pulled back up on screen. Here's my avatar. We'll take the break message down. Hope you didn't miss me all too much. I literally walk away to... not walk away. Why do I say things like that? I used my wheelchair to get around, right? And of course, instantly, like, one of my thumbnails already started to get messed up from, like, having to use the wheelchair rims to, like, move around. It's not too bad. I can fix it, but it's like, I guess they weren't as dry as I thought they were. Anyways, I've been there. I put something in my USB and shorted it. I hope it's not shorted and it's just, like, Linux Mint being weird because I, like, unplugged it and plugged it back in too quickly. You'd be shocked with what a computer, like, restart will do for you on Linux Mint. 99 of my like, issues with this software are resolved just by restarting my computer. Guys, don't forget, it's Father's Day this weekend. Oh, God. Okay, all right. If you have a good relationship with your father, yes, this is a great reminder. If you're someone like me who hates their goddamn father, I completely forgot it was Father's Day. He doesn't exist to me. I honestly forgot it was Father's Day coming. I haven't had to do Father's Day in a very long time. I've managed to plug USB-C into a multiple times. Wait. I think that phrasing needs just a little bit more of phrasing. Doesn't help when they're right now. Oh, I think I know what you mean. You plug the USB-C into the USB port by accident. I understand, I think. That sounds like Linux, all right? I sub grep Logitech or something. Yeah, I'm not... I could do that, but, like, I'm gonna be real. Like, when I do Linux videos on the Linux channel, I have to, like, actually make sure I know what I'm talking about sometimes, because I identify as a Linux enthusiast. I am not an expert. I am not here to, like, help you fix your Linux problems. I'm here to talk about why I love Linux, even as, like, kind of a, let's say, intermediate user at best. I'm familiar enough with Linux to talk about the things that I really love about it, but there have, like, been a lot of issues that I've come across here, and I've come running and screaming to other folks, and I'm like, I don't know what happened. I don't know how to fix it. Like, I got kicked all the way to Grub, and I don't know how to, like, get my system to, like, turn back on. I can't log in. So far, though, there hasn't been an issue I haven't been able to figure out, at least with, like, without, like, one other person's, like, help, though. So, like, that's a good thing. I've been using Linux full-time since 2005. Hey, Lemon Zest, guess what year I graduated high school? Oh, God, I feel so old. Rain, the certificate's on Discord. I might take a look. Ooh, I see it. Hold on. That I can pull up on screen for sure. That I know actually works. Hold on a second. Anna, I don't think you can argue against results like this. This has been certified. This has even got an official seal on it. I don't know. I'm gonna have to listen to the authority on coolness, because apparently Japan has an authority on coolness, and they're willing to rubber stamp the certificate on Raven's behalf. By the way, when was your first exposure to Linux? So right before my accident, I started getting into Linux because I was thinking about making YouTube videos again. So all right, let me take a step back because like this is actually okay. Let's talk about like my YouTube journey for a second so you can kind of understand how I got to here. So when my very first video on YouTube was not an actual video, it was during the pandemic. I made a video recording a baby deer being lost in my backyard, and then its mom finds like the baby deer a couple minutes later and they meet up, and like it's really adorable, and I got like a close-up shot of the baby deer because it came like really close to the camera. So it's like this really cute video, and I just posted it and I just left it, and that was my very first video. And then I came back and I saw that video did really, really well. And I was like, oh, wow, that's really cool. YouTube's kind of cool. I've always wanted to do YouTube, but I'm not very good at that stuff. So I started like picking up some of the skills that I'd learned earlier in my life because I took a video editing class, but I was like really rusty at that stuff. And I put together another video about my car, which was a Prius Prime. And it was a no gas challenge. And that was like the first video I put on the channel that had real production value. Then, shortly after I published that video, I got into a car accident. This is not the accident that put me in the wheelchair, but this is the accident that totaled my car. So I got rear-ended by a pickup truck, ironically, in my Prius. And that was the first rear end that like knocked my car out of commission. So I decided to start using my electric bicycle to get myself around, and I was still planning on doing more YouTube videos. And while going to work one day on my bicycle, I got rear-ended by another pickup truck, and that's how I ended up in the wheelchair. I took basically another year off from the channel, and when I came back, I decided to do gaming content because it was just easier for me to sit in front of the computer. So I've mostly just focused on art and gaming content, and I've been doing that pretty much since like 2023 now. So it's been about like 3 solid years of me like really putting my best foot forward on YouTube and trying to learn and streaming as much as I can and trying to make good and interesting videos, even though they're really not that great. 1865, yes, that's that is exactly what. For realsies though, Lemons Us, I graduated high school in 2004. I was already in the Marine Corps by 2005. Signed by the Empress of Japan and the King of England. USB-C for USB cutie. I love that. Leon, I'm stealing that one from you. That gem is worth tucking away for later. So anyways, to get back to your question, I started switching over to Linux because I was having trouble using the software to edit my YouTube videos. And I got really frustrated with Windows, and somebody just off the cuff was like, why don't you try Linux? And I was like, cool, what's the like easiest one to get started with? And they recommended Linux Mint to me. So I downloaded that and installed it on my Chromebook. And the Chromebook wasn't really designed to run Linux Mint, and I kind of knew that going into it, but I didn't want to install it on my PC. So I ended up putting it on the Chromebook, and lo and behold, it worked. Now, it was really sluggish. It was laggy. It wasn't running the way it should, but I was so blown away that it would even function like that. I was like, oh my God, I've got to like try this out on my main rig. And yeah, that is like when I started, and I never looked back. I just like found every tool I need. I edit all my videos in Kdenlive, open source. I do all my art in either GIMP or Krita. Again, both of those are open source programs. Obviously, I use OBS to broadcast. I think a majority of YouTubers use OBS, but again, open source, right? And then obviously, I do all of my content creation in general and all of my work on a Linux computer. Good grief, Raid's gonna get isekai'd one of these days. I already been isekai'd because I was a boy before the accident. Then there's like a big, like, black void in my memory. And then after I woke up, I was like, wow, I'm not a boy anymore. Obviously, it wasn't that simple, right? Like, there's way more that went into that. But, you know, hey, I mean, something happened there. I remember too, one of the nurses, and I brought this up, like, in one of my videos before too, but I remember one of the nurses was like, you doing all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. And they're like, you know, accidents like these change people if you want to talk about it. And I'm like, nope, I don't feel any different. I'm completely fine. I fast forward to the future. Rain was not fine. Rain was not fine. Another pickup truck rear end? Oh god, at least hit me on the right side this time. Like, every major, like, accident and injury I've had has been on the left side of my body. Can you at least hit me on the right side this time? Even me out? Good grief. Just don't break my drawing hand. Miss Rain moves with the help of custom-made metal device, and her altered appearance was altered with chemistry. She most often appears in virtual form, in digital space. Is she a superhero? I've had somebody call me a folk hero before, and I'm just like, that feels like a bit too much. That feels a bit too aggressive. A folk hero? Like Robin Hood? What am I, like the gay trans Robin Hood? Good grief, Rain's... Oh, I already read that one. Rain, your certificate is on... Wait, I didn't ask for a certificate for myself. I said do one for Anna. I would rather put editing tasks on my home lab server and just remote to it instead of editing raw on a laptop. Oh, God. You should have seen me struggle. What was it, on Monday? To edit that 4K video. So I filmed in 4K because I was like, yeah, I want to film in 4K. My phone can film in 4K. I can edit in 4K. I'm sure it'll be fine. It was not fine. Caden Live did not like that. I don't have enough RAM on my computer. So, like, every time I was trying to, like, scroll through the videos, if I scrolled through it too fast, all the memory would get, like, eaten up. Like, trying to process the request. It was pretty bad. Caden Live crashed multiple times. I had to force my computer off one time during the edit. I'm so glad that Caden Live, like, does, like, an auto-save recovery thing. I used that at least once. Even though I was saving my work, the one time I had to, like, force power off my PC because it was completely locked up. Yeah, I'm glad that feature exists. She's military trained and recovering from a traumatic past. Her mere existence is a defense agent it's defense against a tyrannical regime. She is a superhero. Oh my goodness. I don't know about that. But I was in the military. That is true. I'm such a conundrum of, like, just various different things that shouldn't be put together, but I am. Has anybody ever heard the song Coat of Many Colors by Dolly Parton? I feel like that represents me pretty well. That's kind of an old song. I heard that growing up when I was, like, really little. My mom used to sing that to me because we were poor. I'd play the song on stream, but I'd get instantly demonetized if I did, so I'm not going to be doing that. You're just going to have to go and find it for yourselves. You are a trans girlish cat girl? I am definitely very trans and very cat girl. Though somebody pointed out to me recently that puts me on the furry spectrum, and I was like, really? Really? If it is, I am very, like, very, very much only, like, a little on the spectrum. Frankenstein's cat girl? I like that. Nom nom nom, crunchy memory. I'm very hard on my hardware. Listen, I might not be hard on all of you, but there are two things I am hard on: myself and my equipment. When it comes to like being a piece of equipment in like Rain's like arsenal, I'm a ride or die bitch, and I will ride it till it dies. I use everything. I even draw with like pencils that are sharpened so much they're literally nubs, and I'll keep using them. I absolutely destroy most things over time. Life is hard, but so am I. I can be. Though I'm trying not to do like the whole like the hard marine thing anymore. I lived that life. I don't. That was all like kind of an. I don't want to say it was an act, right? Because like obviously like, you know, I did accomplish a lot of things being that way, but like to say that I was healthy, mentally speaking, that would be very incorrect. If I have to say I'm a furry, you have to too. But you are a furry. Don't you identify as one? Maybe I misunderstood. You were a Marine? Yeah, I was in the Marine Corps. I was a Lance Corporal. I used to be an M1A1 Abrams tank mechanic. I fixed turbine engines. I hate them. I never want to see a turbine engine again. They're horrible. Okay, they're not horrible, but I hate fixing them, and I don't want to do it. I wanted to be a pilot. I only, like, wanted to learn how to fix the things because you have to be an officer to fly a plane, and I didn't have money to go to college, so I couldn't be an officer yet. So I was like, fine, I'll fix airplanes. And then I wasn't smart enough. Like, I wasn't good enough at math because, like, I needed to know, like, vector algebra and shit. And, like, so I go to the school to, like, for aircraft repair, like, mechanics and stuff like that. And they kick me out of this school. And they're like, well, hey, tanks have turbine engines. It's, like, kind of the same thing, right? Like, you can do that, and there's less math involved. And I'm like, God damn it. Fine. Fine. So that's how I ended up fixing tanks. It's not what I really wanted to do. I just realized Raid is a princess. Magic hair, yes. Magic hands, yes. Animals talk to her. Anna, Dark Raven, and me. Poison, Taco Bell, cursed car accident twice. She's a oh my goodness. Y'all building lore around this now. This is actually pretty accurate. Here's the funny thing too, right? Is like, I understand a lot of these things because some people have like actually called me out on some of this shit and was like, oh, that didn't really happen, right? You got to be making it. There's no way, right, that all that crazy shit happened to you, right? And I thankfully, why did my chat just delete itself through OBS? Good job, OBS. Thanks. Now I can't read any of the chat unless I look at the main screen. Oh, all right. I'm going to go over here. I was getting the rest of Slay the Princess achievements, and I was in a private call with Lily, and she joked about Q Rain joining the call when I got the Catgirl Princess again. Oh my goodness. I don't know why that keeps happening, but every time I go to Leon's live streams, when she was doing Slay the Princess, she would always end up on the Catgirl scene. And, like, I was falling asleep and, like, taking naps in between, like, watching it. I'd still wake. It's like subconsciously I heard Catgirl, and I was like, I gotta wake up for that part. Miss Rain could be Batgirl from Halloween. Oh, for Halloween. I misread that. Oh, so, like, the thing I was trying to say before, though, is, like, I understand some of this is, like, feels kind of fantastical, but Anna's my roommate. So, like, I've shown her, like, the actual documentation from all of this. Like, I keep the record of everything. I have so much paper. I ended up throwing out, like, documents from, like, years and years before because it's just not relevant to me. Like, old tax documents I don't really need anymore and stuff like that. But it's like, I kept, like, the traffic, like, the police report from the first accident with the Prius. I have that. I have all of my medical records from my accident. I still have the actual traffic ticket that the police officer issued when I got hit by the truck, and the police officer tried to blame me, saying I failed to yield for the truck in my bicycle. I have that ticket too. I have all of it. I kept all of it. I got all my military records. I have a full copy of every single piece of paper I ever signed in the military. I keep all of that stuff. Chat, it's wild and true. I know, it seems crazy, right? Like, even I don't believe it sometimes, but here we are. How I gave up as a Marine soldier after 2 pickups and cutesy girl with trans flag would go so hard on YouTube. I've done some art like that. I think you've seen that in the previews. I could use that as a graphic. I don't know if you saw the one with my character pointing and I have the flag over my shoulder. I could use something like that. I try to include some kind of trans pride thing in most of my drawings. Also, I'll tell you, like, one of the criticisms I got recently about my art. Not that a lot of you talk shit about my art, but, like, somebody left a comment. I won't mention where. I already removed the comment. But they said to me, they're like, wow, pretty narcissistic to only draw yourself. And I was, like, really annoyed with that on, like, a personal level. And it's like, that's not the only thing I've ever drawn, right? Like, I've got thousands of drawings of Teto and Miku and other characters that I've, like, tried drawing in the past, right? But, like, I don't know. The only thought that I have about that is, like, would you tell Walt Disney not to practice drawing Mickey Mouse or Goofy or, like, any of those other characters? Like, that's my thing, right? Like, nobody else is gonna, like, try to learn how to draw my VTuber model and my character professionally except for me. And, like, to be fair about it, I don't really trust other folks to do it. Like, the only other person I would probably trust to draw, like, my character in a way that I think would be representative of me would be, like, Leon. Because she actually knows me and, like, also is a tremendously talented artist. And also has done an avatar for me for a different character that I used to be before I came out as trans. So, you know, she has done work for me before. But that was also before I became an artist. I didn't know how to draw then. It's really weird that it's, like, almost been, like, 2 years now since I've been drawing. Actually, I think it is 2 years now. I think I've been drawing for 2 years now. Kind of crazy. Nobody could live a more unpredictable... Every part of my life has been super weird and unpredictable. Nothing has gone to plan. And then you wonder why I'm, like, still, like, at the starting gate after, like, all these years. It's like I'm still on the bottom rung. New manga title? I got hit by the isekai truck twice now. But I'm still here and a girl... Oh, God. You know what the worst part about that is? And I used to be, like, before the accident, I used to be, like, really very strictly scientifically, like, minded. I wouldn't believe in anything. No paranormal stuff, no ghosts, right? I didn't believe in, like, prophecies or fate or any of that stuff. I'm like, if I can't read, like, a scientific article about it, I don't believe it, right? That's, like, how I was. And I remember, because my former partner from, like, before the accident, they went to, they're Buddhist. Oh, well, they're Taoist. But anyways, they went to a temple and they got a fortune for both of us. And funnily enough, the fortune for me was to be careful of accidents. I'm going to be very accident prone that year. And I just kind of scoffed at that. And I was like, huh, yeah, whatever. Like, they don't know what they're talking about. And I shit you not, that year is the year I got into both of those accidents. I couldn't believe it. It actually really did change my perspective on that kind of stuff a lot. Like, sitting there thinking about it. I don't talk about like my former relationship too much, so it just because like I respect their privacy, and I just don't like to drag up like things between us too much. But one of the things like that they started to notice about me, and this like put a huge strain, because like shortly after the accident, our relationship ended, and one of the things that really strained our relationship a lot is they looked me dead in the eyes one day. And they actually asked me, "Who are you?" And I'm like, What do you mean?" And they're like, "Who are you? You're not the same person I used to know." And that really blew my mind. And I'm like, wait a minute, really? Am I that different? And this is like before like even figuring out I'm trans or anything. Whatever they were picking up on, whatever vibe I was giving off back then, they picked up on it right away. And they were just like, all right, who the hell are you now? You're not the same. You're not the same person I knew. It's like, they even like implied that like, what am I, possessed by a ghost or something? Like, that's like as far as they took it. But again, they're like Taoist and Buddhist. They have some pretty interesting religious beliefs, but so I don't know about that part, but like definitely picked up on the vibe that I was very different after the accident, and that put like so much strain on our relationship. It also gave me this reverse translation. I got hit by an isekai reincarnation truck twice, yet I'm still alive, and on top of that, I've turned into a girl. That'd be a hell of a manga. How existentially terrifying. It was a lot for me. Shot straight into my egg. I don't know exactly what they saw, but yeah. They saw something. They saw something was different. I mean, that was really, that was a jarring moment for me, but it, like, I'm kind of glad they brought that up to me, because that's, like, kind of, like, when I started, for lack of a better term, breaking out of my shell a little bit, and, like, getting a little bit more closer to the LGBT community. Timeline-wise, because obviously a lot of you didn't even know me back then. Like, I only had, like, 300 subs back then. But back then, I was Numbers Can Be Fun, and I made a video about Sharky. And after I made that video, I got invited to, you know, basically to come hang out with the LGBT, like, I got invited to the community to hang out. And, you know, my intention wasn't to, like, explore that community, but, like, I was having a lot of fun. A lot of the people there were, like, really chill. The memes were really relevant. I was like, wow, these memes are great. Why are they so relevant to me? That probably was a sign. Anyways, so, like, I was just at first there just to, like, really, and just, like, kind of just, like, make friends and just hang out with, like, cool people that were, like-minded and stuff like that. But after a while, I started to, like, kind of question things a little bit. And I was really scared to ask questions. Like, really scared. Like, terrified. Like, really. To the point where one of my friends from back then, like, kind of on us, like, on the side was like, hey, Rain, you know, if you ever have questions about this stuff, you come talk to me about it, right? And I did. I took them up on that offer. That was actually Alice. She was my very first Ko-Fi supporter. She was the very first one who donated me any money. I did a special drawing for her once. As a thank you. Rain, should I put RimWorld DLC content under spoilers or just only massive spoilers? Could you just, like, do massive spoilers? Like, I don't mind, like, hints and stuff like that. But if it's, like, an actual plot spoiler that would, like, ruin the point of playing it, yeah, can you spoiler tag that, please? That's not even Isekai, that's just Sakai. Oh, God. I didn't know Anna is really good at Japanese. I don't know. I don't know I pretty much don't know any Japanese. I don't know how good Anna is at Japanese. I haven't heard her speak any. The gays have all the best memes. Honestly, one of my first comments was like, adding gay people to my timeline was like one of my best decisions because like you all know how to have a good time, honestly. Just like going through the feed and just watching it and just like watching everybody like have a like post something funny or silly or just be honest or like have like a real conversation, a real interaction, right? Like, because before all of that, before the Fediverse, before I like joined this community, right? I was on Reddit, and, like, my social media experience was getting into stupid, pointless arguments with, like, dumb people on Reddit. And that's, like, how I spent my free time. I didn't create anything. I didn't draw. I didn't make YouTube videos. I got into arguments with dumb people over dumb things. Yeah, that's a healthy way to spend your evening. Yes, Rain, why don't you work a literal half day for 12 hours straight, then go home and get into pointless debates with people on the internet? While drinking a couple beers. Yeah, that's a great way to live. Very healthy. I'm so glad I don't drink anymore. Oh, yeah, it's been almost 2 years. Maybe 2.5 now since I haven't drank anything. We're almost up to 3 years of no drinking. I don't necessarily keep, like, super on top of it. I wasn't, like, an alcoholic. But, like, I did drink too excessively before, so like I'm kind of glad I stopped drinking altogether. Plus it's really bad for your HRT to keep drinking all the time, so you know, something to consider there. Rain, oh wait, I already saw that. Rain, I just realized I haven't eaten for 8 hours now. Well, dieting anyways, you really should eat at least breakfast every day. Like, that's kind of why I forced myself to have breakfast. Yesterday, I skipped breakfast because I was just way too nauseous for it. That ended up, I think, being a mistake. Like, even if you can't, like, try to get some crackers in you. Keep some, like, Ritz crackers around. Those are really good. Or banana. Banana's really good. Banana's got everything you need. Oh, hi, Zookeeper. You're not on late. You're always exactly on time. Something about a group of people who have fully embraced themselves lends to an incredible zest for life. It really is. I remember, and I know I've expressed this thought to you directly before, Leon. But for everybody else, I remember sitting there when I first joined the community, and I was like, wow, I really love how everyone can be so open and honest with themselves here. ... Well, too bad I can't do that for myself, and then just completely shut the whole thought process down and just moved on for a while. Well, yep. Too bad I'll never be happy like that. Like I said, I have this, like, weird thing where I'm the exception to every rule. And it's... If anybody's ever, like, and I know not a lot of people in the community are veterans, I would really like, if somebody is a veteran in the community, specifically if you were in the Marine Corps, I would love to hear your thoughts on how to deprogram some of that shit, because that would be really beneficial for me. Because it's not that like I said, a lot of it has to do with things that are outside of my control. Yeah, I'd love to be able to deprogram some of that kind of stuff, because it's, like, super ingrained into me. Rain sitting here not even realizing the room she was in was a closet. I know. I know I told you this, Leon, and I told a couple people this joke already, but when I was looking at apartments, right, like, obviously, like, the lady who was showing me, she knew I was trans, right? Like, I usually wear something pride-related whenever I go out. So she's like, this place has a big walk-in closet. She's like, would you like to go in? And I was like, no, thanks. I just got out of the closet. And she, like, it was, like, such an awkward thing for her. I was like, oh, God. Just sitting there smiling. Atashi wa Chisana Nihongo desu. I don't know if I said that all correct. I probably butchered that sentence. Atashi wa Chisana Nihongo desu. Desu? Yeah, again, I don't speak Japanese. I only ever learned Mandarin. 你好，我叫你，你呢? See? I can count in Mandarin too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 1, 3, 4. I can keep going. The straights literally have no humor. I know. God, I'm so glad too that I don't like get falsely lumped in with like groups of people anymore. I can't tell you how many people at my old job would be like, would like hear I'm a veteran, and then they'd come up to me and they'd be like, "So about Donald Trump," and I'd be like, "Do not talk to me about that goddamn traitor," and they'd be like, "Whoa, what the hell?" And I'm like, I'm extremely liberal. Do not lump me in with that kind at all. Ever. Hate that. I'm sorry. It's like, come on now. We live in the Northeast. Let's like act like it. I know. It is so bad too, but I think if you work in blue collar, that's something that like you have to deal with pretty regularly. President. I don't even want to call him president. I'm going to call him Cadet Bone Spurs because he didn't even earn. I don't think he's earned a single title that has been granted to him. So we're going to call him Cadet Bone Spurs because it's not only funnier, but it's like definitely a minimizing statement. Sorry. Never going to be president in my book. Just like I don't call Bush President Bush. I call him Governor Bush. Because I don't think he actually won that election fairly. So, it's always Governor Bush to me. I'm also realizing a lot of folks may not actually, like, know the specifics of that. Because it may have predated their existence. Hearing the title of bankruptcy multiple times. Yes, there we go. He can be called Trump the Radical Bankrupt. No, Trump the Morally Bankrupt. Yes, there we go. I like that one. Trump the Morally Bankrupt. That works on so many levels. The only straight thing about me is removed by... Hey! None of my moderators removed that. I love the joke, though. Florida? Oh, God, I lived in Florida before, too. I was stationed in Pensacola for a while. I think I told you that, Zookeeper. Working as a letter carrier, I obviously see those stickers and stuff around, and I always wish I could Thanos snap it all the way. I cannot tell you. The last time I saw a pickup truck, like, that was completely plastered in Trump stuff, and I know this is an intrusive thought. I would never do anything like this, and I would never encourage anybody to do this, but I, was like, God, do you know how badly I wanted to just pick up a stone and just, throw it through the back of their windshield? It's so obnoxious. And, some of them around here do the double Trump flag off the tail of their, oversized, ridiculous pickup truck with, the giant wheels in it. It's so stupid. I hate that. Even if you did that with an American flag, we're in America. You don't need to have that much national pride. I'm a frickin' veteran and I don't do shit like this. Come on now. It's so insane. I'm back from school. Welcome, Snow Owl. They ask you if you think the election was stolen, and you start talking about the 2000 election. Hey, I mean, that was the one for me. I remember the whole hanging Chad controversy. They should have just redid the vote, honestly. That was my first, like, wake-up call. Like, even though I was, like, kind of too young to, like, recognize it back then, I was like, that's very fishy. That doesn't seem normal. We're just gonna throw out people's votes? I thought this was America, the land of the free. I thought we voted for everything, right? Apparently not. I've learned that the American dream is aptly named because it's a dream. It's not a thing that's actually real. A lot of irony in that phrasing. A monument to ignorance. I like that. It was only 26 years ago. But it happened like it was yesterday. To my God, am I really that old? Holy shit. God. Oh no. We should just get rid of the Electoral College. I agree. I mean, the Electoral College never really made sense, but it at least made more sense back in, like, the ye olden days when you had to, like, I don't know, transport manually by horse and carriage, like, paperwork for votes and stuff, and then, like, an official body had to meet to discuss whether or not the votes were legitimate and not. Like, I guess it made more sense back then, but do we really need that? Why don't we just go by popular vote like every other, like, normal democratic nation does? You know why they don't do that? Because the Republicans would start losing. It would lose so badly. They would get spanked so goddamn hard. A fair election, the Republican Party wouldn't exist anymore, except for in, like, a few holdout states. Delta, welcome to the stream, cutie. How you been doing today? I got my chores done. Oh, Kat, welcome. They even do voting weirdly in the US? Yeah. Speaking of, this is the best time now. If you're not registered to vote for the midterms, please register. I know I don't get political very often. I don't bring up politics, and we have, like, a rule in the Discord not to discuss politics. I try not to get too political, but, like, this is kind of important. If you are not registered to vote, please register to vote. It's very important. If you are just turning 18 this year, it is incredibly important for you to vote in the midterms. I know that midterms are not, like, the most exciting thing to vote for, but, like, it's really important that you all vote this time. All right? And I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but I think we all know who we should be voting against. And that's the Republican Party. Maddie! Too hot to art! What were you working on, though? Happy to catch the last 30 minutes of this. Strangest place on the whole earth. Laundry day was very dangerous. Oh. I've been going to the laundromat. I gotta say that I find the dryer to be very convenient at the laundromat because it's one of those huge industrial ones. And it really gets my clothes done really nicely. Before that, I was, like, hanging my clothes out to dry in a clothesline, and I like that too, but, like, that dryer is really nice. Also, vote in the primaries. Yes, please, please, please vote for anything that's relevant in your area. There really isn't any reason not to vote. It only takes a couple of minutes, and they give you a free sticker. I mean, I don't know about you, but I want a free sticker. And also, primaries, yes, gotta keep the fight going against all the corporate interest buying candidates. Yes. Like, I cannot undersell this enough. There's, like, again, like, I don't like to get super political around here, right? But I will say this. Your voice matters. And they want you to think your voice doesn't matter, that your vote doesn't matter, that it's not important. They want you to give in to defeat. Like, they just want it to feel like it's never going to get better, right? That getting out there and, like, this is why I say I support everybody, like, going to a protest that they believe in, right? It matters. It matters. And the people in power are affected by the things that we do. They wouldn't work so hard to silence us and to try to get us to not vote if it didn't actually matter, right? My voice matters. Gotta force myself to voice train, I guess. Rem, you should go and listen to some of my old videos. Oh God, it's pretty bad. My voice was so deep before. And not only was it deep, but I was like trying to do like that ultra masculine tone. It was pretty rough. I listened to like my old voice and I'm like, really? Did I sound like that? And then even worse, people used to be like, I like your voice. I like the way you talked before. And I'm like, really? Really? I don't know. It sounded pretty bad. Leanne, you have an adorable voice. Oh my God. I've kind of embraced that I'm like more, I don't know, androgynous with the way I speak. It's not necessarily femme, but I do hit some masculine tones from time to time. I'm kind of happy with it. I would like to push a little higher, but every time I've pushed like up to a higher octave, it doesn't sound great with my voice. And even my mom doesn't speak like with a super squeaky, like high-pitched voice. So I don't know. Maybe it just would be unnatural. It's femme, Rain. Come on now. I mean, compared to my old voice, definitely. But I'd still consider it kind of androgynous sounding. I don't know, maybe. I did get a silly comment about my voice I had to delete, so I went back to work on it again more recently. If it was on YouTube, you could probably just ignore it because, one, it was probably posted by a bot, and two, if it wasn't posted by a bot, it was probably posted by a transphobe. And if it wasn't posted by either of them, then it was probably posted by an idiot that's never watched any of your content and just sniped you with a random comment because they watched like 3 seconds and just didn't enjoy it. There was a time, too, and I don't think you ever, like, were there for any of these streams, Leanne, but there was a time that my chat would get completely flooded with bots, and all they would say is transphobic shit. And they were all bots, and they would just endlessly post over and over again. That was a mess. I sound androgynous? There's nothing wrong with sounding androgynous. Rain, help me. I'm being dragged to bed while I'm working. Help! I can't help you there. If anything, I need to drag myself to bed more often. And you need rest. Spend some time with your girlfriend. And I love it. I don't hate the way I sound now. If anything, I like the way I sound 100 million times more than the way I used to sound. It's more about resonance than tone. A lot of girls with not that high-pitched voice still sound good. That's what I've been told, too. A lot of people are like, yeah, I really like your voice no matter what. Like, it's still really good like this, no matter what you have to say about it. I remember my mom hearing my voice at first. And she's like, that's very different. She's like, so you are going to talk like that from now on? And I'm like, yeah. This is how I talk now. And I mean, she rolled with that, but she's just like, I'm going to be real with you. That's going to take a little getting used to. I mean, but like I said, if you heard, all right, you know what? I'll just pull up an example real quick. Give me a second here. We're going into the Rain archives now. The Rain archives. I don't know. Can you tell I'm brain dead? Especially today. Goodness. Content. We'll go to a video. We'll sort by oldest. Yes. Let's look at the Toyota Prius Prime video. Why not? That's a good one to bring up. We can listen to my voice on my second ever YouTube video. All right, let me go over here. Oh, we still have the Anna is cool certificate up. Hey, just a reminder, Anna is very cool. Let's go over to, what is it? Is it video details? Wait, what the hell? Why isn't it working? Oh, I gotta click the thing. There we go. Okay, so this is mine. This used to be my car. I don't drive this anymore, obviously. But this was the vehicle I used to drive before I got into my first accident. So I'm just gonna play a couple minutes of this. We're not gonna watch the whole thing because it's 13 minutes long. If you are a member, this is available to members. But I obviously, for obvious reasons, do not want this to be like a super public thing because it's not at all representative of my content, my editing style, or even who I am as a person anymore. So it's for members only, just like to kind of be there as extra content now. But anyways, without further ado, I'll play a couple seconds of it. Oh wait, I gotta turn the volume on for the desktop.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Numbers Can Be Fun, and if you saw the title of this video, you know what we're about to do today. So I decided that I wanted to come up with a gas-free challenge. I drive a 2021 Toyota Prius Prime. So that gives me the ability to recharge my battery and drive on EV mode for up to 20 to 25 miles, depending on, you know...
Okay, that's enough of a voice sample. I think everybody got the point now, right? So that's what I used to sound like. Okay, that is so different. I know. Well, that's why, like, people in my family were like, that's gonna take a little getting used to. Who the hell was that? No way, that was Rain. Back in the ye olden days. When was that video even made? Hold on, when did I upload this? What date was it uploaded? It was uploaded March 7th, 2022. So March, okay, so March, I had my accident in September, so March, April, May, June, July, August, September. 6 months after I posted that video, I got into my accident. That's so weird, Rain. Someone else got access to your channel. Yeah, some weird guy named Numbers. Good thing I got rid of him. That ain't Rain, that's Thunder. Oh, I like that. Somebody else also proposed Drought as well. Oh yeah, let me turn the music back on. Probably help, right? Sounds like a different person. I don't know who this Numbers guy is. Yeah, you would have no idea, right, Cat? Miss Rain would have a pink car, not red. I know. I used to do shit like that all the time. I used to tell people red and orange was my favorite color. It's not the truth. I do like red, but pink is my favorite color. And then after that, it would be like dark purple. I like that. Gold is a good color. Red is okay. Orange is okay. I thought he was in your basement. He's in a box somewhere. Don't you worry. I packed him up nice and tight. He ain't coming back anytime soon. He's a robot after all. Don't worry about him. He'll be fine. I hate orange for a very valid reason. I think I told Leon to use like red, orange, gold, and blue when she came up with the Numbers Can Be Fun like avatar because I couldn't draw yet. I can't actually, but what the part that I do remember, because I was like so excited to like, because Leon back then, because I couldn't draw, Leon was like my favorite artist that I had found online, and I was like following all of her like artwork and her posts and stuff like that, and she had no idea who I was, right? Well, maybe a little, but like didn't really know who I was at all. And I remember she made a post and she's like, I'm opening up commissions for the first time. And I was like, yes, yes, yes. I want my avatar to be drawn by Leon. So I just like instantly send her a message and I'm like, yes, yes, yes. Can you please do an avatar for me? Right? And then she asked me, okay, cool. What do you want? And I go, I don't know. And I remember she's like, wait, you don't know, like, what you want your character to be? And I'm like, yeah, I'm like a, you know, like an online adventurer, right? Let's go with that. And then she came up with, like, 2 drawings. And one of them was the robot. And, like, another was, like, almost like this, like, sorcerer guy. But I really liked the robot a lot. So, yeah, we ended up going with that. Me, what you were on? Rain dial-up noises? Yep, it was exactly like that. I was like, I didn't think I'd get this far. I put no thought into this, and I don't even know who I am as a person. So, what do you do? Like, what do you like? What's your character like? He likes Linux. Pink and gold is an underrated color. Ooh, I should mess with that. I haven't done a lot of pink and gold. I will say this. I do like rose gold. I don't like gold as much. But rose gold, I love rose gold. Oh, hello. And yes, Miss Anna, I'll make sure of it. She just got better from food poisoning. And yesterday she had it bad. Instead of resting, she made potato salad. Yeah, I was supposed to be resting yesterday too, and I ended up doing 2 drawings in the same day. Okay, well, I started one the night before and finished it, but I'm going to still count it as 2 drawings in a day. I had to prod and probe to get something to extract inspiration for. Yeah, I know. I didn't realize, like, now I have a very great appreciation for how difficult of a problem I made for you there. But, like, to be, like, 100% real about it, I didn't even realize, like, how, like, big of an issue that'd be, like, artistically. I'm just like, wow, she's so good, she'll just come up with something. It'll be fine. And, like, even then, because, like, after that conversation, I was like, I'm just not gonna be picky. Her art is great. Whatever she comes up with, I'll just take that. That'll be me. Yes, letting somebody else decide who I am. I'm sure that's not a sign. Does Raven's girlfriend have a name? Yes. Her name is Raven's girlfriend. Snack. I don't think I welcomed you earlier. I'm sorry if I didn't. Hi, you cutie. I know you've been here. I'm sorry. I'm kind of brain dead these days. I brought that up earlier in the stream. I haven't been feeling well. That's why we did nail painting and chatting today, because I just didn't really have the energy to game. Yes, just call me Yuki. I like that name. I used to know a girl named Yuki. This was a really long time ago, so I doubt anybody even knows. This is like when I was in my 20s. Funnily enough, though, I do sometimes wonder, now that I'm out, now that I sound different, now that I look pretty much completely different from who I am, I wonder how many people that I used to know have come across me and didn't even realize I was somebody that they used to know. I don't think it's happened too many times, but it's had to have happened at least once. That's what I like to think anyways. I will tell the story. Oh, hi, Dylan. Welcome to the stream. How you doing today? Miss Rain's girlfriend is named Art, and they are a match made in heaven. Yes, I made a similar joke earlier about the ring. I'm married to myself. I'm in a long-term relationship with me. But no, on it, like, for realsies, though, I'm so over, like, doing relationships. At least for a while. I've been in 2 very serious relationships in my life, and, like, I spend a lot of my time in those relationships making the other person happy. And I need time. I need time to be with me and to figure me out. Because the way I look at it now is it would be really unfair of me to get into a relationship with someone when I still have all of these other issues I'm working through. And if I want to be in a relationship with someone, again, I want to make sure that the power dynamic is at least equal. And that's really hard for me to find, being disabled and asexual and, yeah, like just lots of other reasons. Me and Zoo are friends already, but I hardly ever make it to the stream. That's okay, Dylan. You want me to call you Dylan, or do you go by a different name? Happy Pride! Happy Pride to you, too. I'm in a toxic relationship with myself. I am in a kind of a toxic relationship with myself, if we're being real with that. But that's what I'm trying to work through, right? Like, I'd rather work through these issues instead of make them somebody else's problem, right? I don't want to get into a relationship and then go, oh, you're here to make me happy and help me with my issues now, right? Like, that's unfair. Like, the point of a relationship is to help better each other, right? Hey, it's always good if you know how to appreciate yourself, discover who you are, and find the thing. So, the one thing I really do need to work on is going, like, kind of full circle, and I really do need to figure out how to, like, give myself more chill. Because I have way too high of a sense of urgency on everything that I do. Everything is the most important thing to be done at all times. And I can't, like, let go of that mindset because it's, like, so drilled into me from being in the military and then, unfortunately, keeping that habit going way after the military. I really just need to, like, I need to figure that out because, like, obviously I'm getting sick now. I'm older. Maybe I just can't handle it anymore. I don't know. I have some self-reflecting to do there. But I'm, like, scared that if I take it too easy, that, like, everything I've worked hard for over, like, the past 3 years is just gonna disappear. Right? Like, YouTube is a fickle platform. If I take it too easy, then I just fall off, and then that's the end. Yeah, I don't know myself enough to know to be there for a potential partner. You know, that's a very mature thing to realize, too. And it's not to say that you won't be ready at some point, but taking time for yourself to self-discover, self-explore, and work on yourself and become better, like, that's never a bad thing. In fact, that's something I've been continuously doing since I finally broke out of my shell. Rain Chan, did you know Raven sleeps 2 hours daily, even in Japan? I can relate to that. I go through phases where I only sleep like 3 hours a night sometimes. I did mention at the beginning of the stream that I am bipolar. I'm not, like, and I don't like to bring it up too much because, like I said, there's a lot of stigma that comes with being bipolar. And yeah, Okay, yeah, like bipolar people can get angry sometimes. I've gotten mad sometimes too, right? But like I'm not like a crazy girl who goes and starts punching holes in the walls when I'm pissed off and shit like that. Like I don't do anything like that. I can be very self-punishing like when I'm like that, but not usually not directed towards other people. If I get mad, I'm usually mad at myself or mad about something, not at someone. Or the other thing that will happen, I will like get really pissed off and somebody just has to deal with me being pissed off. I'm not pissed off at them, but I'm venting a lot of my anger in their direction, and it can be incredibly overwhelming because I'm unreasonably angry to the point where like you can't talk logic with me. It's just anger. I don't get angry like that anymore, though. Thankfully, I haven't really lost my shit in a long time. Like, a really long... Actually, I don't think I've done that since, like, coming out. So, I think coming out of my shell, like, coming out as trans, like, really helped me with some of that internal anger. But, yeah. It's still a fact. And, like... I think, like, my biggest issue with, like, being bipolar, though, isn't really that. It's more of, like, getting too involved in things at the same time and believing I have the unlimited capability to keep going with it until the switch flips, and then all of a sudden I'm completely exhausted. I realized I've pushed myself way too far, way too hard for way too long, and it all, like, starts to unravel, like, pretty rapidly. I used to have a terrible sleep schedule when I was a student. I've always had a terrible sleep schedule. Are you medicated for your bipolar disorder? If so, is it helping? I am not medicated currently. It's something that I would love to pursue. I am working on health insurance right now. So, as much as I'd love to go to the doctor to follow up on that, I already looked up the cost of, like, what it would be full price, and it was, like, prohibitively expensive to do it without insurance. I am going to be applying for some stuff, like, through the state pretty soon, but, like, that's just something I just got to do in the background. All right, hello. I'm going to go with Cribia. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Yeah. So, most of the things that I deal with, as far as, like, BPD is concerned, mostly just, like, reading about it, trying different techniques and stuff like that to, like, manage my emotions, which I do very poorly, because my emotions are mostly work on things and do them because you're really passionate and excited about them, and then be really sad and then think that nothing is ever going to get done ever again and you'll never finish anything. And it's all coming apart, and everybody hates me now. It's, like, kind of that ebb and flow between, like, I am invincible and I can create anything endlessly and watch me go, and I can actually do it. And then it just disappears, and it's gone. And then he just goes to, like, from, like, unlimited hope to, like, hopelessness. And I don't even know when it happens. It just happens. It's like one day I'm fine, the next day I'm not. It spans over a period of weeks, though, not, like, days. I'd say probably, like, every 2 to 3 weeks, I shift. And I think you could see it in my art. Like, a lot of people have pointed out, they're like, I could see that in your art. And I'm like, yeah, it's pretty obvious once I talk about it, right? But that's just like kind of me opening up a little bit about like what I deal with in the background. And hopefully it explains some of the reason why I end up putting like all this pressure on myself. And I set like these standards that might seem a little ridiculous, but like the thing that's like really hard for me is I really don't realize it. Like I can't see it in the moment, right? When people are telling me you're overdoing it, you're working way too hard on this stuff, like give it a break, go rest, go relax. I don't see it. I really don't see it, and I don't even feel it. Like I'm looking at them like they're the crazy ones. Like work less. I haven't done enough yet. Like I haven't even finished this project I just started. Like, and that's the 8th thing I'm doing today, right? But I don't see it that way. I really don't. It's like I can't explain it other than like I don't perceive it that way. And that's like the trap that I fall into every single time is like, it's like, I'm fine. I'll make sure that I'll stop before I overdo it this time. And then like every single time I've done it, way overdone it every single time. I don't know where the limit is because I can't see it. I can't feel it. And I don't know I've already crossed the line until it's like way too late. I don't mean to be overbearing when I say stuff like that. I just know that burnout is a mofo and it's really hard to heal from burnout. Last thing I want for you is to end up in burnout land. Yeah, I know. And especially like with getting older, you know, eventually one of these times it won't be a burnout, it'll be a flame out. And that'll be really bad. So, you know, the only reason I bring it up is because like I do want to work on it. It's something that I'm willing to acknowledge that I have an issue with. And obviously, like with some of the other health stuff that I've been going through recently, it's probably not a bad idea to start trying different things. Because obviously, whatever I've been doing isn't working because I keep falling into the same traps, even though I say it's different. Don't be a burnout, a crash out, or a flame out. Good advice, Anna. And also, by the way, Kat, no, like, I'm directing this at you, but this applies to everybody. You're not being overbearing. I promise you. I know I kind of joke and push things to the aside, but like I said, hopefully at least now you're understanding of why I behave that way. Because I really don't see it. I don't see it that way. I'm sure everybody else sees it and they're like, God damn, here we go again, right? But for me, I feel totally fine. In fact, I feel like I can do it. That energy is there. I can't explain it. It's almost like a superpower. It's one of the things I'm worried about too. Like if I ever do like start taking medication for it, right? Like what happens to that superpower? Does it go away? I don't want it to go away. What happens if I don't want to draw anymore, or make videos, or like create content anymore? Like I hate to say this, but for better or worse, like one of my most it's one of the most beneficial things to my creativity. I don't know if I would create the same. You know what I mean? Like it's an honest fear I have. I just realized my two favorite YouTubers differ in a single letter. Wait. Who are your two favorite VTubers? Now I gotta know. I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours. Neurodivergent is not something to judge someone by or blame them if they cause harm unintentionally, but you can judge them if they choose to use it as an excuse or actively choose to hurt others. I always try to apologize for anything if I make somebody, and I'm pretty cognizant of it too, because I can overwhelm people just by being excitable about things. So I try to ask people and remind people that, you know, you don't owe me any urgency. You don't have to reply to me, right? If you've got other things going on, you can tell me to go F off for a while, go kick rocks for a bit. I'll come back later, right? I'll problem solve on my own, right? I try to like recognize my own emotions enough to be able to interact with people in a healthy way, and I feel like I do a very good job with that. I think most people in the community, I don't think anybody in the community has had a negative interaction with me. I can't think of anybody who's here right now that I could be like, oh yeah, remember that one time we got into that like argument about this? Like, I don't do that because I'm like cognizant enough of my own issues not to like get into those like kind of situations with people, especially people I like, especially people I care about, and especially people I call my friend. I will just go sit in the corner by myself if like something like that comes up. So if for nothing else, I'm at least self-aware enough to be able to do that. So at least I got that going for me, which is nice. As far as like how we're gonna handle the rest of this week and like with like everything going on, I'm gonna try to keep doing like talking live streams, I think, for the rest of this week, just to kind of take it a little easier. And I don't like piling up talking live streams, so I'll try to find different topics and different things for us to do. Like maybe I'll do one of my drawings with the webcam if I can get the webcam working again. Maybe I'll just do one of my like sketches while we're chatting and stuff like that. Or I could just do it all a little bit and stuff. But at least if I'm gonna stream for the rest of this week, take it easy. Or I might just like cut a couple of the streams and reschedule them for next week. Or like a combination of the two. I'm not really 100% sure because like I said, I don't want to like completely stop because like YouTube requires momentum to like keep going with the platform. So like taking like several weeks off is just never an option for me. Watch the Mona Lisa being made. Wait, do they have a video like that? I love watching you draw. Aww. What if I did a drawing like the Mona Lisa? We could do the Teto Lisa. We'll draw the Mona Lisa, but it'll be Kasane Teto. I like talking. That's good. I think that's what we'll probably do for at least the remainder of this week while I'm still like not feeling the best. And then going into next week, we'll get the games back on. I know we wanted to do Amori. We wanted to do some Terraria. I wanted to still do some Subnautica. And then, of course, we have the Vox Libre live stream that I wanted to continue. So I'll just push that all to next week. And we can just kind of chill and chat and hang out for the rest of this week while I have the energy for it. Because it's like, it is easier for me to sit down here and like chit chat with you and do like these kind of things. But like the gaming can be kind of hard. And I don't want to complain. Because I love doing it. Don't get me wrong. Like I absolutely love doing it. But like the most draining part of like live streaming while gaming is both being entertaining and like trying to keep up with like what's going on in the chat at the same time. It adds such a like a variable. Like you think about like yourself gaming by yourself, right? And you're like, oh, I could just stream this. Except you got to be funny. You got to read the chat. You got to talk to people. You got to be witty, right? You got to be interesting. And if nobody's in your live stream, like how it used to be for me, because I would live stream for hours and nobody would ever watch me. That's how I get started. Guess what I used to do? I just talked to myself for 2 hours straight because I was worried that if anybody watched the VOD, it would just be 2 hours of me playing the game in silence. So I would just talk to myself just to be entertaining or on the off chance that somebody would come into the live stream. It was drilled into me and my sisters that I should keep everything at arm's length because I'll make people hate me if I get too close, that it's best to not have friends because I will let it end badly. I can very much relate to that, actually, floating away today. Now, I'm trying to be better about that, but between the way my father treated me growing up and being in the military, I very much relate to that. Hey, Rain, is it normal to have deja vu in your life? I would say yes. I actually suffer from deja vu pretty frequently. I actually had some not too long ago about streaming, and like the same stuff that I either dreamed about or whatever the deja vu event just like lined up so well. And I was like, God damn, that is so creepy. So I'd say deja vu is pretty normal. What does deja vu mean? I have no idea. I don't know anymore. That part you'll have to figure out on your own. But I would say that deja vu is normal. I have it all the time. If you're a very active, like, dreamer, this is an explanation that was offered to me by a psychologist. They said that if you're a very active dreamer and you have very vivid dreams, you are more likely to have deja vu just based on the coincidences that may appear in your dreams. But I don't know. Sometimes it feels more intense than that. And I think anybody who suffers from deja vu regularly can attest to that. And it's like, I don't remember dreaming about that, right? Like, it comes on way too suddenly, right? Haven't had it in a while. I used to get sudden deja vu for no reason. Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, right? Like, if it just was, like, just some random... Because, like, I don't know about you, right? But even if I try to remember a dream, unless I specifically write the details of those dreams down, right after I wake up, I forget about it. I forget about the entire dream. Completely gone. Completely gone. So you're meaning to tell me that in that moment, I just happened to recall some details from some dream that I had at some point in my life, and that's the cause of my deja vu? I mean, I guess it could be true, but it's just like, I don't really remember my dreams like that, so it doesn't make as much sense to me. Though I do understand why it's offered as an explanation, because it could be true still, but I don't know. That's more of a feeling thing, so don't take everything I just said with, like, the world's biggest grain of salt. Deja vu is one of the worst feelings ever. I actually kind of don't mind the feeling of it, but it is, like, kind of freaky and surreal, I will be honest. But anybody who knows me knows that I like freaky and surreal, so that's not necessarily a bad thing for me. Feel like we already talked about this at some point. Just kidding. Delta, you had me going there. Well, I also have, like, bad short-term memory ever since the accident, so it is entirely possible, too. Because, like, other people have pointed this out to me, that I do have, like, pretty bad short-term memory. If I ever have to ask you about details, like, please be forgiving of that. I do my best to remember everything I can, but, like, you know, I was creamed by a pickup truck 4 years ago, so just keep that in mind. They put Humpty Dumpty back together, but not perfectly. Is Rain not seeing my messages? I'm not 100% sure, because I just found out that the top chat and, like, the live chat are not the same thing. So I've been having to bounce between the top chat and the live chat just to be able to read everybody's messages. But Gombic, I can see all your messages. I started dreaming more when I started my current medication. I'm also just kind of bad at reading chat sometimes. You have short-term memory and photographic memory. Sounds more like a superhero. You know, it's funny about that, too. Like, if I look at something, I'll never forget it. But if you tell me something, God, I am so bad at committing that to memory. I also feel like my photographic memory got better after the accident, but my short-term memory got worse. And it used to be the other way around, where, like, I wouldn't really remember, like, photographically as well, but I'd remember details better. I don't know. Maybe that's what, like, kind of got me into drawing, like, without even realizing it. I mean, my noggin did get knocked around pretty good, so, yeah, who knows what the hell happened up there. I have periods where I dream a lot more for some reason. You shouldn't use Top Chat. Top Chat is algorithm curated. Yeah, but what I've noticed is that, like, for whatever reason, like, YouTube doesn't, like, let me pick between Top Chat and live chat sometimes. Like, I can try to force it right now, so I'm going to try to force it. And it's going to stay on live chat on the screen for a couple of minutes. And then for whatever reason, I'll go back and check later on my live stream, and it's reverted back to Top Chat again. I don't know why. But right now, the one that you see on screen, I just switched it over to live chat. It's really frustrating. The algorithm always sucks. Oh, trust me. I know it sucks. I still don't know. Like, sometimes I sit there and I look at, like, the things I do on this, like, platform, and I'm just like, am I doing it all wrong? Am I doing it wrong? Right? Like, I don't know. They don't give you an instruction booklet. How to be a YouTuber. I mean, there are people who try to tell you, but 99.999% of them are just going to sell you some dumb, scammy class that's not actually going to help you. Here's my best advice. Just get out there and do it. And when nobody shows up to watch, guess what? You go back out there and you do it again. And then when nobody else keeps watching, guess what you do? You get back out there and you do it again. And you keep doing it until you finally start seeing some results, or you start learning your skills better. But just keep trying. And guess what? I gave you that advice for free. You didn't even have to buy a class. The best thing you can do is to get started. And the next best thing you could do is to keep trying. Don't give up on your dreams after a short time. It's so easy to burn out being a content creator. It's so easy to do that. But just remember that I didn't, like, overnight get, like, nearly 3,000 subs. It took me a very long time to get here. It defaults to lives, but reset if the screen changes. Great. I'll try to keep a better eye on it going forward. This isn't the first time that we've run into issues. At least now we don't have the same problem before, like with the gift memberships. If you all remember that mess from last year. I remember what I heard more. In fact, I got through school solely on memory of what was said in class. Floating away today, I feel like we're cut from the same cloth. You should try doing more artwork. EU made a large social media disclose their algorithm, but they are so complex, nobody understands them. I said before, my favorite VTubers are Rin Penrose and... Aww! Rin and Rain! That's so cute. I'll have to look her up later. My two favorite VTubers, to keep my promise, I like Marine, and I used to absolutely adore Guagura. I loved her singing. Oh my god. I didn't really watch, like, any of the other content, but, like, the singing stuff, but I loved her singing. Also, I loved her avatar. I'm sorry, like, the Shark Girl thing was just... I've always liked Shark Girls. I have always liked Shark Girls. It's why I use Sharky software for my social media software. I mean, come on. It's Sharky. It's a shark with a shark girl, and she's trans. How can I hate that? Miss Rain is correct. Need to make more art. I'd love to see you post more of it too. If you're comfy, of course. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wrap up today's live stream because I'm starting to get a little bit tired. Like I said, I'm going to make some adjustments to the schedule. Because I don't know if I have, like, the strength to do a lot of gaming stuff this week, but I think I can handle doing some, like, chatting stuff and maybe some drawing stuff this week, so we'll take it easy. And if I need to, you all have my commitment that I'll just take the day off instead of, like, pushing myself, okay? I think that's a fair middle ground that we can all agree to. Yeah? One last thing, too. For those who didn't see this already, my first Pride Parade. I launched a video yesterday. It's not very long, but it's just like a couple-minute highlight of like me going to my first Pride Parade. I discussed a little bit why I wasn't able to go last year. I thank the community for donating the wheelchair to me. And I got some clips of me actually using that wheelchair that you all donated to me. And you know, it's short, it's sweet, it's to the point, but if it's something that you want to check out, you know, I'd really appreciate it. Yeah. Where's my thing? Oh god, I moved everything. There it is. Also, before I go, I do want to say a thank you to everybody who's been so supportive, who sent in the membership gifts. And all of the super head pats today. I really appreciate it, especially Gombic, and I believe it was Floating Away today, who sent me the donations when I had messed up my live streams and obviously was, like, I slept through because I wasn't feeling good. Like, none of you had to send me anything at all, and that, like, honestly, I'm not even gonna lie about it. Like, it kind of brought me to tears a little bit, so I really do appreciate that you all have always been there with me every step of the way. But on that note, thank you all so much for watching this live stream with me, and I hope everyone out there has a wonderful day.